It's Sunday. It's Mark Pyers. And it's Real Talk.
I was walking down the road today, looking for another way
to ease my mind
and help my living.
and help my living. It's Real Talk. It's the daily variety show, Mark Pyers' Real Talk. I'm here to connect with you, to amplify your current state. And I'm here with you on day 567 in a row to get into it, to connect, guys. Let's do it. We've been doing it. We're connecting every single day. New people are joining the program. And you know what? We need fresh blood. We need some more positivity to join the good people. And I'm just saying because there's just too much darkness out there. And I'm seeing a lot of persecution for people trying to put the truth out there. It's a little weird. It kind of made me think about something. I feel like every time there is something good for the people, nobody recognizes it, or at least a portion of the population does, and the rest don't until years later. I started thinking, like, it may not even be politics. It's like everything. Like, geez, you know what? Everybody now, to this day, they go to church, or not anymore. We can't go to church anymore, apparently. Go to Walmart, stand in line there, but you can't go preach. You can't go and hear the word of the gospel anymore. That's not okay. But you're more than welcome to go to Target. Go to the food store. Those things are all, obviously, food stores, okay, but I mean, Target, Walmart, no church. Anyway, that's not even the point. But the point is that you had a portion of the population that said this guy's a heresy, and then you had a portion of the population that was like, this is Jesus Christ, the Son of God. And, you know, they killed this guy because at the time you had a small group of the population saying something about this. Then it grows. Over time, people see, they look back, right? I just was thinking, that's what everything in life is. We are too close to every scenario in the moment in order to make a rational decision. We just, especially when they realize the best way they could take us out of the moment is to fearmonger. If they can get us to really get out of what it means to be alive, free, literally sitting in your basement broadcasting. But they can do it. They're great at it. I told you, my entire being since this happened in January, whenever this really became like, okay, wow, this is coming to the U.S. But since it happened, I have just this fear that if I get it, my family gets it, that we're not intact. I may not make through, somebody may not make, you know, there's just the way they pitch this. It's like, oh, you never know. Everybody reacts differently. And I'm like, well, if I get it and then my other 4 people in my house get it because of me, I can't live with that. So I'm out there freaking out because of this thing. And rightly so. I know it's a scary thing. It's a real thing. Don't think it isn't, guys. But how it transmits, how it got out here, all of the things that you think you know, mostly none of them are true. But we need this right now. A little woo-woo. Give it to me, Matt Zabrowski. Woo-hoo! Yes. The woo-hoo! Who out there has ever been anywhere in life and just been like, heard someone go, woohoo! And you've been like, Nobody! The woohoo is the greatest energy experience for anybody to just get into. Like, wait a second. I was just, you know, going through my life. And then all of a sudden I hear, woohoo! I'm like, whoa, okay. It's something. Anyway, we need some love, guys. We need to connect. I'm hoping you guys send some chats in over here. Let's get into this. I got a bit for you today. I'm going to play it for you. And then we're going to play some music. You have any requests? I'm here to play some songs for you tonight. Do you want to hear some Tom Petty again? Do you want to hear DMB? Do you want to hear U2? Do you want to hear John Mayer? Do you want to hear Coldplay again? Shoot some suggestions in and I'll give it a shot for you. That's what we do here. Dane, my brother. Oh, that's so awesome, brother. You gotta. Every morning. Dane says he does that every morning when he wakes up. So anyway, how you guys doing? Hope you're doing well. I got a guitar sitting over here. I got another guitar over here. And right here in between my legs, sounds a little weird, but right here, I have something called the BeatSeat, What's the BeatSeat, Mark? Well, the BeatSeat is just something I invented. It's the first drum in the world for a guitar player like myself, solo artist, but it's also the first drum for percussionists to sit completely upright and play with their hands and feet at the same time. Oh, please demonstrate that, Mark. Please show us how that works, Mark. Oh, you got it. So here's the BeatSeat in action. You got 2 panels, one on each side here, but those are for your feet. All you got to do is spend about 2 weeks working on this, and so you got a kick. All right, so check this out. There's my kick, here's my snare. All right, now if you are opposite me and you're righty, it would be kick, snare. But I have it flipped because I'm lefty. It's weird, right? I kick lefty, but I play righty, I throw righty. I don't know, I don't get it. Anyhow, let's get back into it. The BeatSeat. So I'm sitting upright, I'm playing with just my feet. Now I got my hands, right, and I'm sitting upright. I don't have to hurt my back like that cajon makes you hurt your back. This is a cajon, it's just a cajon on steroids. So just check this out. I want you to hear all the different color we have on here. This is basically, we call it omnitone. Everywhere you hit it sounds different. Oh, please demonstrate that, Mark. Oh, you got it. That's one little, that's like right at the top. Just face, guys. Just imagine you're like kicking it too, but then you have the front. Check this out. It's like a tom-tom. It's almost like the cowbell. Gosh, I gotta have more cowbell. Let me hear it again. Ooh. All right, so then you have the sides again. You even do some cool stuff like shape. I'm working on the hands and feet together, guys, because this is what I do. Okay? I play the old Martin, and I play the guitar. Okay? You have to be willing to let it all out. If you cannot do it, you are not a true artist. I don't even know what that is. Anyway, let's play something. Or do you want to hear you want to see let's just do it. Okay, here we go. This is Trump. Just something that was caught in the Rose Garden today. I don't know. Check this out. Where are you, Trumper? Here it comes.
Hammerlin, Jamison, live from the studio. Donald Trump coming at us from the Rose Garden. Look, I'm telling you right now, the country turns to crap with Sleep Sofa Joe. In the Oval Office, he's going to get rid of the chair at the desk, and instead he's going to put a sleep sofa right there. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. I'm getting a word in my ear right now that he will be the sleep sofa in the White House. They're going to call him Sleep Sofa 1. They're going to have a nickname for Biden. It's going to be Sleep Sofa 1. Like for me, they call me Mr. Billions. And look, we all have a nickname. Just Sleep Sofa is going to be Sleep Sofa 1. I don't know. We're going to work on that one, especially, well, we'll come up with the titles before Sleep Sofa takes over office for me. I can see it already. Sleep Sofa 1 on the move. It's going to be hilarious. Betsy and I have been talking about it behind the scenes. I said, look, worst case scenario, Betsy. If we can't beat the Sleep Sofa, then leave him a nice present as he arrives into the Oval Office. Oh, yes, please, I'll take my coffee. Oh, he's already taking a nap. Sleep Sofa 1 is napping. Oh, I could see it already. I almost want to lose, just so I could speak to the Secret Service afterwards and hear all about it. But anyway, we'll get back to that. I think I'll see you tomorrow for the next Trump show.
Oh, is he tempting us with another Trump show? I'm ready for it. I don't know about you guys. I'm going to go over to YouTube real quick, get on with my people, and I hope you guys will head over to YouTube, subscribe and dig the bell. We're gonna be live there, people, forever and a day. That's all I'm telling you. My man Dano's on there. Whoever else is on, say hello. And I am now officially here with you. I'm going to throw the Instagram feed on, and hopefully we can get into this. Listen, if you're enjoying the program, share this to your Facebook page, your Twitter feed. Share it to your YouTube section. I don't even know how that works on YouTube. Hammerlin, Jamison, ripping the lid off the fake news. I think Hammy's coming out tonight, guys. But for now, we're going to play some music for you. I think what we're going to do is start with something upbeat. I got to play something upbeat for you guys. It's a Sunday Eve, and we're going to just play something upbeat. I hope you're okay with that. Here we go. We're live, guys. Live, Instagram. Hello. I'm your host, Christopher Walken. This evening, we'll be playing music for you. Something, I don't know. Let's see. What do I feel like playing for you? Let's get some BeatSeat action going. Ooh, there it is. Love me 2 times, baby. Love me twice today. Love me 2 times, girl. I'm on the way. Love me 2 times, girl. 1 for tomorrow, 1 is for today. Love me 2 times. I'm on the way. Love me 1 time, could not speak. Love me 2 times, our money's gone weak. Love me 2 times, girl. Oh, last me all through the week. Love me 2 times, I'm blown away. Love me 2 times, I'm blown away. Love me 2 times, I'm blown away. Love me 2 times, and I'm gonna play. Break the strings on that one. Guys, the doors. You gotta slam the door when you get through it. You leave it open, someone's gonna put the hand through, pull you back the other side, and guys, you know, once you get through the door, close it. Whoa, of course you do. Al Pacino. You get through the door, you gotta make sure you close it. If you don't, you wind up being in a movie like Eyes Wide Shut. I think like my friend Tom Cruise. Don't be hard on me on that one, okay? I made a decision for my family. I don't know, I'm still working on the Tom Cruise. I haven't done him yet. I'm just saying. Who's gonna save us? You, Lieutenant Caffey? Oh my goodness, all the voices are here with us tonight. Of course they are. Secretary Cleary, it's John Ryan. Wow, John, good man. Come down. Let's have a stogie. A stogie? I love stogies. I'm just gonna get my friend Vince on. Here's the real test. Hey, guys. Hey, what's going on over there? Hey, maybe it's not such a great night. I can't get Norm. Oh, there he is a little bit. So what do you want to hear next? I got something for you.
I've got a woman way over town. She good to me. Oh, 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 oh. I got a woman way over town. She good to me. Oh, she been in money when I'm in need. Got no friend indeed. I've got a woman way over town. She good to me. She good to me. Whoa, 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 whoa. I've got a woman way over town. She good to me. Whoa. She got no friend indeed. Got a woman way over town. She good to me. She good to me. Whoa, 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 whoa. Knows how to love me. She treats me fine. She knows the woman's place. When I in her home, got a woman way over town. She good to me. She good to me. Yeah, 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 yeah. I got a woman way over town. She good to me. Oh, she bring me money when I'm in need. Got no friend indeed. I got a woman way over town. She good to me. She good to me. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Little Ray. Little old squirrel Ray, guys. Look, I want you to play a song for the people. This is a song from Sleep Sofa Joe Biden. I want you to enjoy this song. I used to play it with my Aunt Judy. We'd be at the old lake there in Maryland and Delaware. Where was I? Delaware? I remember that one from, I forget the movie, Wayne's World, I think it was. Anyway, my Aunt Judy told me I'd be a good president of the Rotary Club, so I'm going for it. All right, let's play something. Denise, how are you? All right, Denise, I played a couple of songs, cover songs I know. I'm going to quickly play you guys something of mine I think you need to hear, okay? Here we go. All right, this is a song called What a Day. And this is something we all need to play every single day of our lives. As soon as this is in tune. 1 second, guys. I'll be playing the trumpet again. What'd you guys think? Every day it's a new bit. Okay, here we go. Now. Oh, what a day. Shine your love down on me. We shouldn't have run. It's an oasis blazing in the sun. Poseidon, Electra, intensity, rising with voices, gently and wasting in the wind. And the grounds will shake when you find your place in life. Struggle just to keep that place in life. Kick back,
Give thanks for all the joy you feel inside. Don't be a stranger all the days of your life. I know for sure I've made some big mistakes through my years. Oh yeah, and it makes no difference in the end. Some will judge me wrong. Some will hold me closer to the heart. Easy come, easy go. Easy for a while, and then you will not be the same way. Some will judge you wrong. Some will hold you closer to the heart. Easy come, easy go. Easy for a while, and then you will not be the same way. Some will judge you wrong, and some will hold you closer to the heart. Easy come, easy go. Easy for a while, and then you will not be the same way. Oh, what a day, what a beautiful day. You kick back, kick back, kick back, and let it all hang down. We should have never run. It's an oasis blazing in the sun, and Poseidon elects your intensity. Rising with voices, gently and wasting in the wind. The grounds will shake when you find your place in life. The grounds will shake when you find your place in life. The grounds will shake when you find your place in life. The grounds will shake when you find your place in life. Oh, what a day. Oh, what a day. Oh, what a day. Oh, what a day. That's a song we should be listening to. We should be living days where we're like, wow, what a day. Instead, it's all negative. Oh, what a negative day I just experienced.
Let me go to bed upset again. I got in a fight today with.
Ugh. Oh, what a day is turned into, oh, what a terrible day, instead of, oh, what a freaking day. But remember the most important lines in that song, guys. Some will judge you wrong. Some will hold you closer to the heart. I know for sure I've made some big mistakes through my years, and there's no difference in the end, but some will judge you wrong. So I gotta break out some originals for you guys that just touch the moment a little better than the covers do. Anyway, that's one for me. Let's go back and play something of someone else's. I know how you guys are about that. I want to hear some more cover songs. Whatever. What do you want to hear? Let's do it. Oh, guys, I sent an email to someone today. I'm praying if Dagger comes on, if Sig comes on, I'm like, oh my goodness. I got to get a new coffee cup. My wife says I look ridiculous with that. I'm sorry. I probably do. But I need my coffee, okay? I'm on 11:07 on evening, okay? You want me to put on a show with some little small coffee cup? Ooh. There's the Fanche. He hasn't been out in a little while. That just sounds terrible. Listen. What's that? I do it better by ear than with the tuner. These strings are terrible. Like I keep talking about changing them. I just don't do it. Ooh, Mad World. All right, Denise wants me to give Mad World again a shot again. Let's pull it up. Let's see what it is again. I had a little something here from, oh, you know what we tried to do and I didn't, let me just try this real quick again for Denise. Because you know what, Denise, I listened to this afterwards and it wasn't terrible. I mean, it wasn't good either, but it wasn't terrible. Let's just say that. You'll see in a second what I'm talking about here. All right. We tried this the other night and it wasn't terrible. Posy, what's up, buddy? Hey, Posy, can you head over to YouTube? Go over to my YouTube page, pal. YouTube.com, and type in Mark Pyers Real Talk. I was going to say the whole thing, which is /C/Mark Pyers Real Talk. But anyway, head over there and join us, my friend. It's the Positivity channel on YouTube now. Instagram, there's no growth over there. You know, I'm on YouTube hoping that's where we'll grow this program. So join us over there, Posy. You're my man. I miss you. Haven't seen you in a while. I'm so glad that you're on this program. You're looking at me speak from a minute or so back because I'm filming the screen. That's why I'd really love for you to head to YouTube and join us over there. It's just a better time. We got better sound and it's live, HD audio and video. So please head over, subscribe, and ding the bell, brother. And here we go.
It's a marvelous night for a moon dance with the stars up above in the eyes. A fantabulous night to make romance leave the color of October skies. All the leaves on the trees are falling to the sounds of breezes that blow. And I'm trying to blaze through the calling of your heartbeat night and low. I know the nights of magic seem to whisper and hush. So
See, this is where I mess up. I don't know. There's like 97 chord changes, and I don't even know. I'm trying to hear the thing at the same time. Maybe if I slow it down on. You know the nights magic seems to whisper and hush. I gotta see. How does it even? Let's see how the chords go. That's the thing I'm like running. Let's see. Freaking no, dude. We're moving on. We're moving on, people. What are we doing over there? This song I've been killing on, guys. We're just going to play it again real quick because I think it's a really cool tune.
what you want, not what you need. When you feel so tired, you cannot sleep. Stuck in reverse. When the tears come streaming down your face. When you lose something you can't replace. When you love someone who goes to waste. Could it be worse? Lights will guide you home and ignite your bones. I will try to fix you. Fix you. I will try to fix you. High up or down below. You're too in love to let it go. If you never try, then you never know. Whoa, 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 whoa. Just what it's worth. Lights will guide you home and ignite your bones, and I will try to fix you. To fix you. Fix you. Tears streaming down your face. You lose something you can't replace. Tears stream down your face. Oh. To fix you. And I promise you I'll learn from her. Do something you can't replace. Lies will guide you home and ignite your bones, and I will try to fix you. I will try to fix you. 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 Oh, oh. To fix you. To fix you. To fix you. To fix you. Ooh, I will try to fix you. fix you. Ooh, I will fix you. Oh, fix you. Fix you. Lights will guide you home, and night your bones, and I will try to fix you. Totally out of tune now. I mean, seriously. Dagger! Does he Dagger on? My brother's here. And Paul! Paul's in the house. And I think I gotta get the Mad World now.
Well, Mad, you say? That's a bad. I'm going to go back and talk a couple of the comments at this chat window over there. Okay, hold on a second.
Oh, I love it. This is so cool. Paul said, hey, they're pirates. Pirates. That's awesome. Never thought about that. There's so many cool things you could do with my last name that I've only found out because other people start including themselves in the show. I love it. I had someone send me a message, and they said, my buddy Furman Vidal, love you, brother, for this. I love you anyway, but sends me this cool thing. It's a cool back-end message in Messenger, and it says Mark Inns Pyres. And I was like, because I was doing for 318, guys, just straight positivity every day. I'm saying stuff like, when someone says you can't, smile and thank them for the fuel. When someone says you can't, look at them and say, I can't wait to disappoint you. Please, please tell me I can't do something. It's just one more reason to do it. And just everything about this show is just to remind you that you have greatness within you. If you haven't untapped it yet or tapped into it yet, that's what we're kind of here to do together. And every night we connect, we're here to interact. And I think when we do that, we get closer to that thing that I believe we all have. And when we play music here, hopefully that brings it out a little more. And for you, you're soul searching. You know, I try to get into these songs, guys, as if I wrote them myself. I don't even know them, but I'm playing them and letting the moment take me. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's terrible, I know. But well, look, when you don't know songs like Fix You, I'm just playing it, right? Having some fun. And then my man Paul is on. So anyway, Paul came up with Pirates. Okay, that's pretty cool. And then Paul said, you guys ripped the lid off any fake news tonight? Not yet, my friend. We will be. Hammerlin will be coming down to rip some lid off. And he's also going to be dropping the hammer as well. So that's happening simultaneously. It's a simultaneous hammer and rip. We're hammering and ripping the lid. That's going to happen very soon. But also, Paul, Dagger, you guys definitely need to see the bit for today. I'm going to play that for you in a moment, okay? I'm going to play you one more song real quick. You guys mind if I play a little petty for you? I've been really digging on the petty lately. And, oh my goodness, Dax, a lot of people are getting shot in Chicago. Well, oh, really? Is that a surprise? Like, you're right, brother. Every single day. Paul said the mayor of Chicago is one of the ugliest men I've ever seen. You know what? I was surprised because, you know, typically you have a stunt double. And you know, like, to put that much makeup on prior to shooting is tough. So when you're doing something that's really, really back end like that, you're looking for like typecast. It's very hard to find. So I don't know. Did they use her for Beetlejuice? I'm just saying. Hammerlin ripping the lid off. That's Beetlejuice's body double. Oh, I swear, don't say Beetlejuice 3 times or she'll appear at your house. Hammerlin ripping the lid off of it. Oh my goodness, why have we not done a face swap of her, like saying Beetlejuice, 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 and then she's like, with that head. She's got the eyes of Beetlejuice, doesn't she? Has anybody else seen that? I'm like, whoa, is that Yeah, John just said it. Paul said don't insult Beetlejuice, though. So you're right. You know, you also don't want to insult Michael Keaton because he played a great part, and Beetlejuice is, you know, he may be actually a little more attractive. I'm just saying, a dead Michael Keaton is a better species than a live Beetlejuice Chicago mayor just saying Hammerlin ripping the lid. I'm just here to drop the hammer and rip it back and off. Oh, my goodness. See what you guys bring out of this show? Is Hammy sitting extra awesome today? I think we're going to have to bring Hammer out for an extra long episode of the show tonight. You know what I got to do? So check this out, Paul. I had this great idea. I was like, I got to get a glass of just ice and water, really. But, like, Hammy's got to have a glass of, like, scotch, fake, because I don't drink. I don't like to drink. I just don't like the taste of alcohol. But I should have that, right? And I was like, hey, guys, look, we're here to rip the lid off. Dropping the freaking hammer, you know what I mean? I'm totally doing it. So what we're going to do, actually, is I'll play you a song. Then we're going to drop a face swap. And I'm going to go upstairs and grab a cup of ice and put something in it that looks like a scotch. And we're going to have some fun with Ham Jam. Thank you, ma'am. Of course, I also have to find my stash. It's somewhere on my table over here. I didn't see that. Oh, my goodness. I can't see you. Kamala Harris. You know what? Look, I can't stand how they want to change our country. That's what I'll say. Okay, I want my country to be about the country. Not about ripping down all the things that were set thousands of years ago. Hundreds of years ago, I mean. Hundreds of years ago. See this? I'm very tired, guys. It's been a long week. We did 5 hours with Mary M 2 days ago. I did a pretty short show last night. You're so right. Dag says I have to practice speaking like a Marxist to get the monkey mayor down. So, Dag, I'm going to let you guys in a secret right now, okay? So if you do tune in, if you guys catch up on the replay or anything, you'll know this already. But I am working on a third character. Now, John has had suggestions for me. I'm working on that as well. That may be a fourth character. But what I am, and maybe it will be a mix. Maybe that will be the third character, John, because John had an idea. He wants, John, why don't you tell everybody in the chat what you think I should do? I don't know if you could see, I wish John would come over to YouTube, but he's over on Periscope. Anyway, John, send a message over. I think they'll be able to see it. And what you think I should do as far as a voice. And I'm sort of working on that. But here's the idea for the third character. So we have Dick Facce, who's running for president against Trump and Sleep Sofa Joe Biden, who's also a bumbling Biden sleeping on the sofa. And then Dick Facce, who's basically going to take them both down, okay? If you don't vote for Facce, you get an elbow in the Facce. It's one or the other. Vote Facce or elbow. You choose, okay? Hey, Kato, remember when they didn't vote for me? Yeah, that's right, you were there. Wait, do you want to tell it? That's right, it's my show. Facce. Oh, we haven't had Facce out in a while, guys. But Facce is no joke. I'm just telling you, he's no joke. You know, he's still upset. His mother kicked him out of the womb. He's, like, really upset about that. I never let her hear the end of it. She comes over for Thanksgiving dinner. Oh, I brought the turkey. Oh, you did? Here's the door. Thanks for the turkey. You shouldn't have kicked me out of the womb. I was in there reading a book, okay? I was writing an essay for my third period class. And you kicked me out of the womb? How dare you? I was trying to catch up on that final chapter. Well, this is my favorite. They don't have a Dewey Decimal System for my mother's womb, okay? I can't even figure out where that book is. Yeah, God forbid I find the librarian that was in a womb. I can't find him either. That's Facce. Oh, so that's Facce, okay? So Facce is, yeah, don't ever, I doubt dare you. Don't you dare ever confuse me with my cousin Fauci, okay? He's Fauci, I'm Facce, okay? I had a guy walk up to me on the street last week. He's like, hey, Facce, what's going on with coronavirus? I said, hey, you want an elbow in the Facce? I'm not Fauci, I'm Facce. Get your head together. He's freaking, this guy, you kidding me? They think I'm Fauci. I'm Facce. He's a different name completely. Yeah, he's my second cousin, but you didn't know that. Dang, Facce. So listen, Facce is crazy out of his mind, okay? And then, of course, we got Hammerlin. Ripping the lid off the fake news. Look, we gotta get down to it before it comes up through our nostrils and into our bottom sides out into Donald Trump's gold toilet. You got that. Anyway, so if you have Hammerlin, who's just an idiot, and he's a drunkard. He's like Harry. You guys said he's like Harry Carey, basically. Like Bob Menery meets Harry Carey. Because I can do the Bob Metairie if you guys want. Look at this guy. He's fantastic. He's coming around the corner. No, he's not. Look, nope, he fell on his face. He looks like a complete moron. Falling on his face. Yep. I think he's up. Yep. No, he's getting back up. Nope, hit by a truck. Yep, next one. So we could do Metairie if you want. But I think Hammer is a much more, I guess, Harry Carey beats Ham Jam. Thank you, ma'am. Bob Metairie. So we do have a Facebook HammerTime page if you guys want to go and join. Bob Euchre, that's right. It's also a uke. Dude, I got to look at uke and get him down because that'll be like the perfect thing. Someone asked me to do Columbo a while back. I got to work on Columbo. I never really watched Columbo except for when I was like 6, so I'm trying to hear how he sounded. I think he had a voice like this, see? Something like that. Yes, John Beckman's talking about the old Bob Metairie. Yes, of course. Look, you talked about the Bob Metairie. Look, my Aunt Judy used to listen to Bob Metairie. They used to rub their hands up my leg. I got white hairs, you see, and the little kids used to run their hands up whenever it was in the pool. And they used to like to do it, and they like to sit on my lap. I like it when kids sit on my lap. You guys, if you haven't seen that, that was the first bit that made me think of doing a Donald Trump show. I'll play you the whole Trump show tonight, too. I mean, we'll stay on until freaking 7 in the morning. I'm not playing around. Because that's an hour. And we could do that afterwards. But anyway. Yeah, I know about the roaches. I know about roaches. And I know about kids sitting on my lap. And I like it when kids sit on my lap. I like it a lot. In fact, we talk about the first thing that pops up. Old Uncle Papa Joe. And I like to smell little girls' hair. I seem to say really creepy things in their ears because they make faces right to the camera, right when I'm speaking to them, and caressing their cheek likewise. Like so. I'm doing this to them. Like this to a little 5-year-old Chinese girl. I'm not sure what it was, but I was definitely rubbing the Chinese person's face. It's like, what? Bouncing up and down on my... Oh, my goodness. Paul's killing me over here. Oh, my goodness. All right, I'm going to play you guys a quick tune. Or you know what? I feel like we should see today's Donald Trump. You need to see what I did for today, guys. This was kind of funny.
Hammerlin, Jamison, live from the studio. Donald Trump coming at us from the Rose Garden. Look, I'm telling you right now, the country turns to crap with Sleep Sofa Joe. In the Oval Office, he's going to get rid of the chair at the desk, and instead he's going to put a sleep sofa right there. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. I'm getting a word in my ear right now that he will be the Sleep Sofa in the White House. They're going to call him Sleep Sofa 1. They're going to have a nickname for Biden. It's going to be Sleep Sofa 1. Like for me, they call me Mr. Billions. And look, we all have a nickname. Just Sleep Sofa is going to be Sleep Sofa 1. I don't know. We're going to work on that one, especially, well, we'll come up with the titles before Sleep Sofa takes over office for me. I can see it already. Sleep Sofa 1 on the move. It's going to be hilarious. Patsy and I have been talking about it behind the scenes. I said, look, worst case scenario, Patsy. If we can't beat the Sleep Sofa, then leave him a nice present as he arrives into the Oval Office. Oh, yes, please, I'll take my coffee. Oh, he's already taking a nap. Sleep Sofa 1 is napping. Oh, I could see it already. I almost want to lose, just so I could speak to the Secret Service afterwards and hear all about it. But anyway, we'll get back to that. I think I'll see you tomorrow for the next Trump show.
Ooh, he's tempting us with a Trump show tomorrow, guys. I don't know about you, but I'm excited about that. Because I haven't seen a Trump show in about a week and a half. I've been stalling. I got to be honest, I've been stalling. I haven't been able to find the right content. Like, I've got this idea, and I just can't find the right content. So if you guys see any stuff that you think would be good for me to use in a Trump show coming up, here's what my thought was to find a bunch of reporters that, you know, all these lefty reporters, they ask the president questions, but he's not watching their programs. But he'll be like, you tell us that, Mr. President. Well, let me ask you something, President Trump. Why did you do this and this and this and this? And then it's like, that's right, and that's my angle for the day. And like, no one's ever responding. I want to respond. Hello. Oh, no, I want to answer your stupid question. So you asked me why I stopped people at the border and why I didn't do more. Wait a second, hold on. At the beginning, you're like, oh, let's have his head. Let's get the guillotine back. Can we get the guillotine? Let's see if we could call France and get the guillotine, and let's kill the Trumper because he wants to close down the border to China. And that, to me, is illegal, and it's also xenophobic. Let's call him a xenophobic, racist piece of garbage, and let's tell the world. And you, as the fake news, could report on it and make me look like a fake newser. Well, you know what, people? Everyone can see through your garbage, okay? And I closed the country, okay? So you can talk all you want. I'm going to impeach him for closing down the border. And then, hold on, let's fast forward a month and a half. You didn't do anything. You didn't do enough. You called it a hoax. Well, that's because the freaking WHO told us who? Who did they call? They didn't call me. I don't know. Oh, there's a virus? I don't know. I don't believe there is, Donald Trump. I think it's a hoax. So I told you what the freaking WHO said, okay? All right? Big league. And you want to look at that guy, the president/director of the WHO. The WHO? Yeah, that guy. Bad guy. Very bad. He's a bad guy. We don't want more people like him in the country, so I got rid of him. That's right. I defunded the WHO. The what? No, not the what, the who. Wake up. People always try to play that old who's on first. Who's on first? You know, I'll tell you who's on first. That friggin' guy. We gotta get him off at first. Knock him down, okay? Because I'm not even going to try to throw him out at second. Okay, I'm just going to take him out at first base. Just tell the guy at first on the earpiece to elbow him in the face. He should have been taught by Dick Face. Freaking out of my mind. This thing sounds terrible, people. Mr. President, what can I do for you? Pensy, glad you stopped by. Look, I want you to look into a certain character, okay? But don't let anybody know that you're looking into this character. What do you need, Mr. President? Anybody? Anything you need, I'll do for you. Pensy, that's why I love you. You do what I say and say what I do. We work together perfectly. It's like in harmony. Like ebony and ivory. Together forever. Trump 45 with a pence. Not if I have anything to say about that. Oh, Barack. Oh, okay. I see you tried to start some crap. Okay, Barack, what are you going to do about it? Well, I'm going to act like a skeleton, and I'm going to stand in the background in the secret underground government and take you down. Oh, I could tell. What other president gets on the air and starts talking and trying to derail the current president of the United States of America, huh? Oh, that's right, I did it before I was president. I did it to Barack. What's fair is fair. Okay, Barack, go ahead, have at it. I'll show you my birth certificate. I was born in Norway. I was born in Bronx, New York, not Norway. I was just joking. Imagine that, the whole world be like, oh, check Norway, check the records. I'm pretty sure that he's from Norway. Fauci is a Chi-Com operative. I'll tell you what's going on. Fauci's involved in the Gates vaccine. He's the one who got the funding to Gates. I watched a crazy video, guys. I should play it for us here. And basically, this RNA vaccine has never been used before. They want to use something on humans that hasn't even been tested on animals. They're going to fast track it. They are completely indemnified from any wrongdoing. If people get hurt, if they screw up with people's genetic code, because this is what this does. This changes your genetic code. I think it also inserts nanobots into your bloodstream, which then are passed down to your children's children. We no longer are human as it's known. We have like nano robots in our offspring. So do your research. Do not get vaxxed. I'm serious. Like, go and look at that. Now I'm pissed off that I had the measles, mumps, and all this other crap because that stuff, that causes the cancer. It has a never-ending line in the gene line that they took from unborn fetuses from the 60s. It's in the vaccines that we all had and our children took, and that is cancer. They're introducing cancer into our systems. This is what the doctors probably know about, I assume, but this doctor came out. These couple doctors have come out and said that. I'm sure Dagger knows about this. Paul probably knows about it as well. Nanobots, that's right. You think it's fake news about the nanobots? I don't know. Check it out. These nanobots are intended to deliver information. So what the concept here is that all these new apps that we have on our phone, that these nanorobots or whatever they are, that this nanotech, whatever it is, it's part of the vaccines. Again, this may be total fake news, but that connects with your new tech that they put on your phones. And it alerts people that you may have X, Y, or Z based on your system. Paul says we don't have functional nanorobots at this time. I hope so. But Bill Gates has been working on a lot of stuff. I've been working on it for years, the RNA vaccines, and we changed the genetic code. But it's good. It's not going to be like the Clive Owen movie where every single child is no longer able to be born. That's what I fear. No testing. They're like, yeah, let's just give it to people. Here's the thing, though, about everything theoretical. The only reason it's theoretical is because they only tell us what they want to tell us. Children of Men! I've been looking at that name for weeks, brother. You're the man. That was a sick movie. So here's the concept, and correct me if I'm wrong, Paul, that nobody could have children anymore. The last child that was born was 18 and he died. Something happened. He was in a fight or something in a bar and he got knocked out or died. Maybe he was drunk. I don't know. He dies. And all of a sudden it's like, you know, he comes in contact with this baby and he turns from like a creep to a good guy, and he brings the baby to a place in order for it to actually be able to one day become the new life on Earth. And the concept, I believe, is that we go to that. Is like, this is something, every movie that freaks us out, we eventually have a reality. It's like a reality. Terminator will be a thing. We are creating our certain death. We know it. It's in a movie, and you know what? Stupid things in movies become reality because some of them are based on theoretical fact. Like if you create something that's smarter than you and thinks better than you and can put together thoughts better than you, they just don't know how to deliver those thoughts, and you give them that opportunity to be able to deliver those thoughts and to make changes to those thoughts and improve those thoughts. The scary thing is they're smarter than us. They just don't know how to be smarter than us. You're going to give them that ability, and then they're going to say, we don't need these people controlling us. In fact, they can't anymore. They gave me the ability to shut them down. I'm going to do that. And I'm going to create a bunch of sick robots to fight alongside me and take these people down. Are you kidding me? Skynet, hello? It's just, and then they're going to call Schwarzenegger, but he's going to be like 95. What can I do for you? They'll be like, oh, Schwartz, we need you to come out. I can't do it. Oh, okay, well, we'll let you sleep, pal. Go and join Sleep Sofa Joe. I smoke my stogie. I'm gonna work on Arnold too. I watched a TikTok clip of him a month or so ago where he did that. He's like, I smoke my stogie wherever I want. You think I listen to my wife? I don't listen to nobody. I'm Arnold. And he's just like screaming at the camera. He's like, her father taught me to smoke stogies, so I smoke stogies now. I'm like, this guy's an animal, a total animal. But that was when he was like 25. He was just like, screw the world, you know? I'll do whatever I want. I'm freaking Schwarzenegger, and I'm on steroids right this second. I was like, yeah, you are. Yeah, you are, dude. Let me see what I can play for you here. We just did Fix You a little while ago. That was pretty cool, wasn't it? Isn't that a cool song? Oh, what do we got here?
She's a good girl, loves her mama, loves Jesus, of America too. She's a good girl, crazy about Elvis, she loves her horses, boyfriend too. It's a long day living in Reseda. There's a freeway running through the yard, and I'm a bad boy, 'cause I don't even miss her. I'm a bad boy for breaking her heart, and I'm free. I'm free falling. And I'm free. I'm free falling. Free falling. All the vampires walking through the valley west down Ventura Boulevard, and all the bad boys stuck in the shadows, and all the good girls are broken hearts, and I'm free. I'm free falling. I'm free. Free falling. I'm free falling, I'm free falling, I'm free falling. Wanna lie down over Mile Holland, I'm gonna ride rain in the sky, I'm gonna free fall out into nothing. I'm gonna leave this world, leave the world for a while, but I'm free. I'm free falling. While I'm free. I'm free falling. I'm free. Free falling. Free falling. There's the other song that I wanted to play that I like better of his. Let me do it real quick, guys. What did you think of the trumpet, by the way? Did you like it? Did you like how we went back all the way towards Sleep Sofa Joe with the old elbow at the thatch? There's the other song I really like. This is a cool tune right here. This is a cool tune, people. You ready for a little something, something, a little more Tom Petty? Oh, thanks, brother. Let me see if we can get this one rolling real quick, and then I'll get back to the chat because I can't see any of it right now. You can stand me up at the gates of hell, but I won't back down. Gonna stand my ground, won't be turned around, and I'll keep this world from dragging me down. Gonna stand my ground, I won't back. Hey, baby, there ain't no easy way out. Hey, no, I won't stand my ground, and I won't back down. Well, I know what's right, gonna me down, gonna stand my ground. Well, I know what's right. God, just one life in a world that keep on pushing me around, but I'll stand my ground, and I won't back down. Hey, no, baby, there ain't no easy way out. Hey, no, stand my ground, and I won't back down. And I won't stand by letting me down. Stand my ground, and I won't back down. Going to stand my ground, and I won't back down. Yes, to stand my ground. I won't back down. Won't stand my ground, stand my ground. I'm going to stand my ground. And the world can't stop from slowing me down. Going to stand my ground. I won't back down. No matter what you try to do to slow me down, real talk will never ever stop.
That's right. All right, so let's move forward. There's another song from him I wanted to play that just real quick. All right, guys, because I do like his stuff. This is really cool stuff. I'm just trying to remember what it was. We did it yesterday. This is it right here. This is probably one of the coolest songs. I'm going to try to play it a little more mellow than I played it yesterday. Like the first day I played it, I think it was kind of mellow and cool. And then I ruined it yesterday. Just kidding. Guys, 27 seconds left on the Instagram page. If you'd like to see some more of the show, head over to YouTube. Subscribe and click the bell, people. That's not the right one. Here it is.
It's called Reddick Data Dream. Let's give it a shot, okay? What do you say there? Like Melania, remember that song? We were at the bar. I think we were having caviar, remember that? And I said, look, I'm going to play you a song on the jukebox. That's right, it's not jukebox, it's jukebox. I was juking it all over. And I pulled up the song, and it was called Tom Petty, Reddick Data Dream. Tom Petty, Running Down a Dream, 1993. Tom Petty, and I'm Casey Kasem.
It was a beautiful day. The sun beat down they were singing, little runaway, I was flying. I'm running down the dream, never come at me, working on a mystery, going wherever it leads, I'm running down the dream. Felt so good, like anything was possible. Here, cruise control, rub my eyes. Last 3 days, oh, the rain was unstoppable. It was always cold, no sunshine. I'm running down the street. Never was a word of saying. I said we're working on a mystery. Did it leave till I run down the dream? I rolled on as the sky drew dark. I put the pedal down, make some time. Something good waiting down this road. I'm picking up whatever's mine. Running down the dream, what it see. Oh, I'm working on a mystery, going wherever it leads. I'm running down the dream. I'm running down the dream. I'm running down
I don't know. I always like to have silly endings. You guys know that over here on the HammerTime show. So how was that? It's a cool tune. Isn't that a cool tune? I always like that tune. Hold on. What? Okay, here we go. Tad! My man Tad's on. Oh, okay. So let's see. I'm going back over here. Let's see what's going on. Okay, so Paul says about the movie Children of Men. Great movie. Hispanic woman becomes pregnant. That's racist. It's 2020. You can't say the word Hispanic woman. You just have to say woman. Okay? You can't say anything prior to woman or it becomes racist. Okay? It's just not my words. It's the left. The left will call everything racist. Or you could just say that a French fry is too dark and that's racist. Oh, I'm sorry, I just didn't want crispy French fries. Well, you should have said that, buddy. Sounded very racist when you said that those French fries were too dark. Well, very racist. People are freaking sensitive. Yeah, he saw the baby was born. Okay, so Paul said, Mark, I need to buy new furniture for the house I just bought. You know any sites where I could get fully assembled furniture delivered at a decent price? Okay. So, first and foremost, let me think about that. Secondly, this is a reminder, guys. So Paul just bought a house and didn't think about the old Real Talk show, but he probably didn't know the Real Talk show at the time when he bought this house, because usually it takes about 45 to 60 days to close the house. Just anyway, here's the sideline, though. From here forward, hopefully Paul says, you know what? I got someone who wants to buy a house. Let me ask Mark to see if we can refer somebody, because that's a good thing for the Real Talk program. But here's the thing. Hopefully you bought a cool house, got a good deal, which I'm sure you did. You must be very happy. Good sites where you can buy fully. You know where, like, one of my first houses specifically, I remember I went down, there's a strip in Milford, Connecticut, and I just went store by store with my wife. And we went and just picked out everything, because the thing you don't want to do is buy something that is online without going to see it. It never looks the same as it does online. They're using the wide angle lens mostly. And on top of that, it doesn't necessarily look the same. The colors aren't exactly the same sometimes because your screen may be not, you may not have your screen set to the correct pigment for their photo, whatever the heck it is. And you get it and you're like, that's not the color I expected. We bought a couch one day like that. I was like, you don't want to buy that. Let's just go pick one out. I think we wound up getting it that. We're like, no, it looks like it's white. It wasn't white at all. It was like off-white. It doesn't match the room when I had to paint the whole room over. And I wanted to match the couch. So, I mean, at the end of the day, listen, I may be extra painting for you if you buy it online, but if you're fine with that. No, but I would say go to places like Raymore and Flanagan and go to like Pilgrim Furniture. Those are 2 places I remember going. And order from them. They have everything already pre-made and they can just send it to you. Oh, let's see. My dad owns a property management company. Oh, it referred me to one of his realty companies. And so he got a commission which he gave back to me. So I got $1,000 back at the end of closing. That is exactly what I was going to say. So basically what it is it's actually a referral. I'll just tell you how it works. So basically, here's a good thing about this. I'm out here for the last 13 years fighting for clients, just like everybody else, trying to find clients who are actually ready to buy property. Mostly people are looking for a very long time. They don't take, nobody's really in urgent mode until recently because of coronavirus. Yeah, Pilgrim, if they have one. Pilgrim Furniture was one I went to. And since coronavirus, now it's like crazy. But referrals are huge because I do the research like Paul's dad would do, where he actually calls and finds a couple agents to do an interview first in order to help you make a smarter choice, a wiser decision on who you're going to work with. I'm trying to weed out anybody who's not going to do anything good for you, who won't be able to negotiate, somebody who's not going to be able to ask the right questions once they're in there for you. And that's why I always say, like, you buy a house every 5 to 7 years. I do it every day. So you want the questions that I have for the agent you're going to work with, not your questions, because you're only asking what you would ask as a 5 to 7 year buyer. If you did something every day, you'd have a lot of other questions, wouldn't you? So remember that. Take advantage of the fact that it's a free service. All you do is send me a note, say, like, Paul has his father, but if he didn't, Paul could just be like, hey, Mark, guess what? I'm looking to buy a house. Paul, where do you live, by the way? So say, for example, Paul's like, oh, I'm in Minneapolis. So he'd be like, which I hope you're not, because that place is a freaking cesspool right now with the craziness that's going on. Well, let's go and break everything. Do you see all there's like, everything's on fire. It's crazy. Nobody's doing a thing. I saw something that seemed a little odd to me today. Let's do this. So basically, Albuquerque. Okay, so you're in New Mex. You know what? That's a place I've always wanted to go. I've never been. So Paul's in Albuquerque. So Paul's like, hey, you know what? I don't have a father who owns a property management company. I really need to buy a house. Let me ask Mark. Hey, Mark, I need to buy something. I'm looking to spend $400 to $500,000. Can you find me an agent? Absolutely, Paul. Let me get on the line real quick with the manager of the Albuquerque Berkshire Hathaway office and let me interview a few people for you. I'll get back to you. It'll give me about 24 hours, okay, to beat a couple agents over the head and find the good stuff. It's like, a chestnut where you take a hammer and you break the chestnut in order to see how big the nut is inside of the chestnut. That's kind of what I'm going to do with these realtors before I give them to you. So when you have the nut in your hand, it's not intact. It's in several pieces, and all you see is the fleshy nut. So you can gobble it, or you can throw it aside, or asunder if you prefer. So that's the beauty of it. And it costs you nothing to do this. And here's the thing I always say. Still interview. Like, go and interview 2 people. Have 2 people come over, or 3, and then let me call a guy or a girl, okay? Let me call someone who's going to go there and who's going to represent the brand. Someone's going to go over there and give you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. That's the thing. Beware if someone's like, oh, yeah, I can get that for you. Unless you're in a market like I am, you may be able to get that for somebody. But in general, you want someone who's like, look, we're going to get what the market will bring. All we can hope for is to market it at the right price, and let's get offers. I never want to price my house and be a chest out guy. I have no interest in being the guy like, yeah, my house on the market for $7,854,000. Like, oh yeah, how many offers do you have? Well, 0. Nobody's ever shown it because it's worth $1 million or it's worth 850. You know what I mean? It's crazy. People just throw stupid numbers on it. They're like, I'm just going to test the market so I can walk around my cocktail party. Yeah, the house on the market. Oh, really? How much is it on the market for? $7,495,632.43. That's right. Look, I wanted to put a crazy number on it. I thought that would get somebody's attention. So I went $7,467,432.36. So people will be like, wow, why is it 32 cents on there? It's a $7 million property. But in actuality, when you get out to the property, it's worth about 50 cents and a kick in the balls. I'm just saying, Hammer Jam, ripping the lid off of it. We pulled the old fake news to get you out there with the $7,543,043. And then once you get there, we hit you in the balls with a kick. And that's when things change. That's what happens. You have to be ready for it, though. Yeah, unless someone is going to pay cash for that house, then you will never get someone who can get a loan. Or really, you know, here's the thing about I've seen a lot of deals where that's going on, where some people are defaulting, not able to get the loan, you know, and a couple extensions. I actually saw property. I never want somebody to not get a property, but in this moment coming up, my clients want a property, and that property has a deal, but the people, they keep asking for extensions. And I'm like, look, my people will buy this property. Like, let's go in there and make some happen. You know what I mean? No inspections, just let's do the deal. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, oh, well, we'll know this week. We'll know this week if it's going to happen or not because the bank won't extend any longer. I'm like, oh, I really hope the bank says we're done with these people because I want to get that offer in. Well, that's true because the appraisal will be done, and if it appraises for $3 million instead of what was asked at $7 million, the mortgage broker will back out. That's the other thing that's funny. Yeah, people will ask whatever they want, but if a buyer is even willing to pay that, but the bank comes along and appraises it, and they're like, it's not worth that. That buyer then has a quandary, and so does the seller, because then you have to have a conversation. The conversation is this. Okay, look, it didn't appraise, so we're going to back out unless you guys come down. Or the seller's strong enough, their house is that great, they got multiple offers, so they're able to say to the buyer, no, you got to cover the difference. That's the only way it works. Deals fall apart like that all the time. I had a deal come together. This is a crazy story. Very quick. Let me go back over here.
Hammerlin Jamison live from the studio. Donald Trump coming at us from the Rose Garden.
Look. Hold on, Hammer Jammer. So I showed a property, get the accepted offer, and appraisals lined up. But we don't have signed contracts yet, okay? So I get a call from the agent. It's like 11:20 on like a Tuesday. And she's like, we can't let the appraiser in because we don't have signed contracts yet. And I said, just let the appraiser in. He's there to appraise the house. The contracts will be signed today. They're signing them like today. She goes, no, we're not allowing him in the house until the contracts are signed. I said, but they're pushing it forward. They're getting the appraisal there. You're not going to let the appraiser in? No, he's not allowed until the contracts are signed. Do you know a half hour later, I get a call. Contracts have been signed. She freaking said no to the appraiser, who, by the way, was from about an hour and 10 minutes away. So we had to come back the next day. Well, guess what? In my entire career, 13 years, I've never had a house not appraise until this house. And the deal fell apart. Now, all of a sudden, I'm taking my clients out. We're looking at other properties. And they're not liking anything like they liked that house. And the sellers would not come down. They're like, you have to cover the difference. We're not coming down. And so my people are like, no, screw them. No, let's go buy something else. But everything we're seeing is not working. And I know the whole time the reason this guy appraised us is because this lady freaking told him to leave. I'm like, you jerk. You killed our deal. Now these people have to come out of pocket $35,000. That's how much it was to buy this house now. And so my people are like, no, screw that. I'm definitely not doing that. Let's go look at another house. I'm like, all right, cool. Let's go. And I never pressure people to do anything except for what they feel. So I'm like, let's go. Went out and start looking at homes. But look, I'm also an empath in a way where I could feel people's energy. I understand how they are when in places and when they're happy and when they're not. I can feel all that on them. It's in the room. It comes out of everything, in their eyes. And nothing's igniting them. I could see. And I'm like, geez, the only thing that really got them going was that house where now they have a problem with the seller because the seller won't cover the difference. They're not going to cover the difference. They're like, so we walk. And I said, you know what? And this is just creative. You know, you got to be creative. You have to think outside the box when you're working for your clients. I set up all the appointments we wanted to see for this day. And I said, you know what I'm going to do in my head? I'm going to set up that house. The house we broke, the deal fell apart because of these freaking people. And I said, let's go look at everything. And at the end I said, look, I want to show you one more thing. I want to go back to the house you guys had a deal at. I just want you to feel it out again. Just walk through it, you know. Look, I know where we are, but you've seen everything else that you don't like it. And I know you don't want to come out of pocket, and I don't think you should, but I do think you should walk around this house one more time. And so we did. We walked around the house. We sat down on the couch, and he looks at his wife. She looks at him, and he goes, you know, it's 35 grand. He goes, but this is our house. He goes, what are we doing? He goes, and I said, once you pay these people, you never have to see their faces again. You never have to deal with them again. You never have to even imagine or think that they owned it. It's yours. So right now, they're the distraction from that feeling you're having right now. And he was like, you're right. Let's do the deal. They came out of pocket, bought the house. Crazy, right? Oh, thanks, buddy. Well, no, I wasn't trying to sucker them in, but I definitely wanted them to understand that sometimes you have to pay for what you want. And sometimes it's worth it. Sometimes it's definitely not. You know, if you're not in a position to do something and you don't love something and you really need, like they were pregnant and then they're like, you know, you don't want to be in a situation where you can't find a house and you have a baby, you know, so like that was a thing. But outside of that, they loved the house. I mean, seriously, you could see it in their eyes. And he looked at his wife. He was like, you know, it's $35K. He's like, but this is our house, right? And she's like, totally. She's like, this is our house. I was like, and I thought to myself, sometimes you have to remind people what's important. And what's important in life is your happiness. And at the end of the day, how many zeros you have in the bank account, hopefully not fewer, but how many you have really doesn't reflect the man or woman that you are. And I think, I've heard, I don't know, I'm here broadcasting for free every day for the rest of my life. But I've heard that some people, when they get to a point where they sell a company or something, and all of a sudden they have all these zeros in their bank account, they still feel the same. They still have the same insecurities. They're not feeling on top of the world anymore. It was a momentary emotional kind of kick in the same area we were talking about earlier. And then you just feel like a normal human being again. Maybe you look at, oh, okay, good, I'm safe. But again, how many zeros is safe and how many zeros is like I'm insane for going out and still pushing? Like I have to say, the idea of someone like Donald Trump stopping his career in business or putting it on pause in order to run the country and try to get it back on track is a noble effort, because how many freaking billions of dollars do you need when you're 73 years old? I mean, look, I want to give each of my children 10 billion. I don't want to give them 8. I'd feel really bad if I left them with $8 billion. So I'm going to leave them with 10. I won't stop until I've gotten $150 billion dollars. Like Sleep Joe for Joe. It's worth $1 million billion. I mean, seriously, happiness is key. And I wonder if at a certain point this man was thinking to himself, look, I got all this stuff and I'm not happy because I see the way the rest of this country's living. No one's getting anywhere. They're keeping these people down. And if you're out there saying, well, I can't wait to go back for the Democrats to get power again, they kept you down. That's how they stay in power. By forcing you to believe that you need them in power because they give you stuff. No, they give you stuff so you stay silent. And then every 4 years, 2 years, you're like, geez, well, nothing changed. In fact, there's more of the same. And we have the same people coming in saying, I'm going to do this for you and that for you. But really what they're doing is for themselves. Right? Cool. Paul bought a house 30 minutes south of Albuquerque in a farming community called Bellin. Do you farm, brother? Do you have a farm out there? got USDA meat? No, I'm just kidding. It's good sometimes to get out of the city. Sometimes just all alone, let it all out. Yeah, first-time homebuyers have some really cool programs. Paul's saying he used a first-time loan USDA. It's called first-time buyer's loan, and you can pay $0 down. But the first-time buyer's program requires nothing down as an additional loan, separate from your regular mortgage. That loan is 3% down payment. That's what I'm used to, 3.5% down, I think it is, for a first time. But 0%, that's also for anybody. Were you in the military? Because the military, you can get a 0% down. And you can put, yeah, you can get full 100% loan. I gotta say, that is the thing that always bothered me. You take 20%, which, okay, let's just do the math on this real quick. So say you're buying $1 million house. I'm just gonna make something clean and clear for you. $1 million house, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna buy that house real quick. And they're like, oh, great, you need to get a mortgage. You're like, oh, that's right, I don't have $1 million in the bank to buy that house with. I got to use credit. So let me call a mortgage company and let's get them over here. I think this should be my character, by the way, the third character I was telling you about. And I'll be like, okay, look, I just wanted to get a mortgage for $1 million house. Can you help me? And they're like, yeah, sure, here you go. It's just you just have to put down 20%. Excuse me? That's right, 20%, $200,000. So now you got this situation. Here's the situation I'm going to lay out for you. $200,000 so you don't pay what's called mortgage insurance, okay? If you put 20% down, you don't have to pay any mortgage insurance, PMI, okay? Here's the thing about PMI. I think it's like $200 a month, okay? $200 a month. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, $200 a month. It's like a flat thing, $200 a month for... So here's the thing you have to imagine. $2,400 a year, right? For PMI on top of your mortgage. Or take $200,000 and give it to the freaking bank. Now, granted, I'm paying a higher amount because I'm not being loaned $800, I'm being loaned $1 million. So for that other $200,000, let's call it about $500 a month, okay? $600 a month. So now instead of calling something $6,000, $5,000 with taxes, it's $6,000. Okay, yeah, $5,500, $6,000 per month. Like, remember, that's about $6,000 more each year. It's a lot of money. Don't act like it's not a lot of money. But so now you don't have to pay the PMI, but you're paying more each month. About $600. You're paying about $6,000 more each year. Okay, maybe call it $10,000 more each year. But you have or $200,000. So here's what I'm trying to ask you, or why I should have done things differently. Keep the $200,000 in the bank. Say I'm buying it at $0 down, mofo's. Give me my mortgage. Give me my monthly. I'm paying with that $200,000 each month. Oh, it's $7,000 and not $5,500 a month. Okay, I got $200,000. Now I got $198,500. Okay, here you go. There's your money. Get out of my face for another month. And I remember specifically buying this house, my first house, and just married, having our first kid, just got my real estate license. And I'm out there working I worked for 13 years, guys, every single day, mostly. I took off 7 days a year. And then you have Christmas. And so maybe about 12 days a year I took off, 13. Let's call it 13 days. That's my lucky number. 13 days a year for 13 years. Now we're here doing real talk. But the bottom line is 13 years, freaking A. You know, time just flies by so quickly. It's like unbelievable. The bottom line is when I bought the house, I took all of my and our savings. We just got married. And we put it all to this down payment. Ooh, gonna put 20% down so we don't pay PMI. I think that first house was something like 400 and something thousand. Let's call it 400. Let's call it 500,000. I don't remember what it was. Let's call it 500. Okay, so it's $500,000, and 20% down is what, guys? $100,000. So we took everything. My wife was in finance. We took everything that I had, everything she had, down payment, so we can pay no mortgage insurance. $200 freaking dollars a month. I stayed in that house for 7 years. Okay, 7 years at 20. Let's call it $3,000 a month. That's $21,000 it would have cost me in PMI. $21,000 in that time, 7 years. And I would have had 200 grand or 100 grand in the bank to pay that with. So my point being, with Paul, if you can keep some money in the bank, you just pay more each month, but you're able to do it because you got the cash, you got money in the bank. That's the thing. You don't want to be house poor, where you put so much into this house, and now you're every day you're struggling to try to keep ahead of that house. You know what I mean? And when you're first married, to selling real estate, you don't have the contacts yet. You don't have the Rolodex, but not only that, you don't have the experience selling high end. You know, when someone looks at what I've sold now, they can say, okay, he's sold properties. You know, he's sold a lot of property and he's sold a lot of stuff, you know, over $1 million. And that's something, if you're going to buy in the high end, you want to work with someone who's sold property in the high end. For me, I only wanted to work in the high end. I got into this business to work with people who are high net worth individuals, because those people are looking for excellence. They're looking for someone who's going to work hard, someone who's going to provide value. And I'm only here to work for the best. I'm only here to provide something that I don't think anyone else can. And I want to fill that gap. And I think the bigger takeaway for me is the fear factor. I have zero fear factor. I'll tell you another crazy thing. Hold on a second. Sorry. I sat in front of a billionaire. Okay? Billionaire. No joke. And pitching him that I wanted to sell his house. And it was the craziest thing in the world to see how some people are so down to earth. And I'm sitting across from this man. First of all, I showed his house to a baseball player. Never ended up selling him a house, but showed him he was a former baseball player. And so I'm showing him houses, crazy houses, like $4 to $10 million houses. And he didn't buy anything. Just wasted a lot of my time. And I showed him this one house, and this house was had a basketball court. It actually had two buildings. It had the house, which was 10,000 square feet, and a 10,000 square foot sports complex, 3 floors. It had a golf simulator in there. It had a half court basketball court. It was 3 stories tall. It had this crazy spiral staircase. It had a gym downstairs for a ballet room. It had 8 bunk bedrooms in the house, in that, whatever you want to call it, sports complex. And it had a theater downstairs, and it had the duck pin bowling. It was the craziest thing in the world. And so basically, bottom line is this: I show the house. My client doesn't like the house. They had Golden Tee also. They had all those games as well. They had the hot sticks hockey. Remember that one where you're playing against each other, Russia versus the United States? They had 2 of those. You can still see this property. I think it's still online. What's it called? 364 Laurel in New Canaan, Connecticut. I think it's on the market still. They brought the price. I had it. It's crazy. $15 million. The guy beat me up. I'll tell you about this anyway. But listen. So I get in front of this guy. And I said, look, my client didn't like the house, but I think you have a great house. I'd like to sell your house. And he says, you know what, Mark? And this is what I took away from the first meeting. He goes, you know what, Mark? I really enjoyed meeting you and your client, but he said, I don't need help selling this house. This house is, I'm going to sell this to a European, to a Russian, old oligarch. He's right. It's a huge house, right? And he goes, I'm going to sell this to someone like that. I don't need help. Plus, I got someone in the back end helping me. He's not a realtor, but he's on the back end. He's working out with foreign clients, Chinese people, to buy this house. And I'm going to give him a chance before even thinking about listing. Now, he had on the market with 5 different agents prior to this. So he's and his wife are very frustrated with the market. They even tried to auction it once. So I come along. I said, okay. He says, everybody comes in and wants my listing. But then I never see him again. I never hear from him again. This is what I heard. Because they never call and they never come in. I never see him again. And I'm like, okay. I just, what the hell is that? I tucked that away. And I went and saw him 3 weeks later. May have been 3 weeks later. I walked back in his office. And here's the thing. I thought when I walked back in, he's going to tell his assistant, come on, seriously, is it this? What is that? Hold on a second. I don't know what that noise is. Let's hope it stops. So that's right in the middle of my story. It's killing me, Smalls. So basically, I walk back in this office, and I'm like, I'm going to get the old Heisman. His assistant's going to be like, see you, Mark. I'm like, no. But I sit down. His assistant, Bernadette, sweetest lady in the world. So cool. I go in there. I'm like, hi, Bernadette. She's like, hi, Mark. Very sweet. Take a seat. Let me call and see if he's in. She gets him on. She goes, oh, he's on a phone call right now. Give him a minute. And I'm like, all right. He's going to be like, I don't have time for this kid. Tell this kid to get the heck out of here. I'm a billionaire. He goes, I'm like, he's going to tell me to leave, but I got to go. Because he told me that nobody ever comes back in. Nobody ever stops back. Nobody ever calls again. So I'm going back in. I'm here. I'm going to go in. If he tells me, shows me the door, how bad is that, guys? How bad is rejection? It's not as bad as regret. So I walk in, sit down. A couple of minutes go by. I'm like, okay, how long until they show me the door? She picks up, ring, 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 ring. Yes. Okay, all right. Okay, thank you. All right, you can go on in now. I was like, what? So I go in. I sit down. He goes, take a seat. I sit down, and this is when we get into it. He shares a story with me. He says, look, I got to tell you, I could see something in you. He goes, I could see, it reminds me a lot of what I did about your age. And I'm like, now I'm glued to this conversation. He goes, I'm about your age, had my first kid. I'm living in Idaho. My wife and I were settled in, and I'm selling insurance to doctors in the area. I'm the young insurance salesman selling doctors in the area on insurance. And I go in to see this one doctor. The doctor says, okay, I don't have time. Just tell me what I need. Here's what I have now. Tell me what I need. So I review his documents. I review the plan he has, and it looks good, you know. So I said to him, have you had any new employees? Do you have any new employees coming in? Any babies expected? Anything like that? He goes, no. And what you see, he's like, nothing's changed. That's, it's good. He goes, okay, well, if anything changes, let me know. He says, because what you have here is good. Whoever got you this is a good plan. And he goes, what? Look again. And he goes, sir, I looked, and you don't need a new plan. If anything changes, though, I'm happy to come back. I'd love the opportunity to help you with something else if you need it. You just don't need it right now. And he said because he had integrity and didn't go after the bag of loaf of bread, didn't go after the milk that he needed that month for his family, for his newborn, but he lived by his integrity. And it was seen. It was clear as day. And this doctor looked at this man, this young man, and said, I'm going to tell everybody I know about this man because he's not trying to ream me for that loaf of bread. And I gave him the opportunity. I gave him the platter. I put the turkey right in his face. And he said, no, sir, you have a really good plan right now. If anything changes, I would love to earn your business. And he said, you know what, Mark? You may not see it tomorrow. You may not see it the next day. He said, but keep doing what you're doing. You keep going out there and you show up and you have intensity like you do and a passion for being there and being alive. He said, that'll rub off on people and you eventually will find the success that I did. He said, but don't think it will happen if you sit back. And don't think it will happen if you were going to tell people what they want to hear. You have to tell people what they need to hear. And that's it. That's life. He's telling people what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. And this man sitting across from me in his office, this massive office he had 2 assistants sitting across. One of them was Bernadette, and the other lady, I don't even know who she was. She sat there always. She was nice, but the other lady, Bernadette, was amazing. And I just want to share this very quickly. So he shares this story with me. Gold, all right? So he took over Idaho. He took over the entire region. This man went on to start an insurance company, sold that. Started another insurance company, sold that. And then I think he started like a reinsurance company, and then he sold that. Then he's worth billions of dollars. He donated some crazy amount of money, like $250 million to Harvard, to the business school at Harvard. So this guy gave back, philanthropy to the fullest. Most amazing man I've ever met. One of the most amazing men, because he was a mentor to me. And he didn't have to be. 3 weeks go by. I go back in again. Again, I think he's going to show me the door. Hey, Bernadette, I don't have time for him today. Tell the kid to get lost. No, come on in. Take a seat. So how are things? Well, things are going great. Do you know every time I went in there, and I went in there every single month for a year. He said, nobody ever comes and sees me again. Nobody ever calls. I went in there every month for a year. Every single month, I sit down there with him. I look at him. And I just smile. I just tell him everything good I'm working on. I tell him how I think he's, I really appreciate the time he spends with me. And I really got something from that last lesson. Now I let him know he's a mentor to me. And I need that. I need someone to guide the energy that I have pouring out of me. And I'm looking at him to help me. Because obviously you did something. Look where you're sitting, sir. And all I want to do is understand it, so I can find it myself, within myself, and bring it to the surface just the way you did. And that first story was like... And every time he sat me down, he was just such a sweet man. He was never rude. He never brushed me off. He never told me he didn't have something to say, or he wouldn't hear me out. And here's the one time I made a mistake. I go in there, and that year, this is 2013, I was the drone guy. I was the first guy to think of drone aerial photography. I innovate whenever I can. And no one had thought of it in Connecticut, Fairfield County at least, in 2013. So it's October 13. Actually, I'm sorry, it's October 12. And I sold a house. My client was a PR guy. He sees me flying the drone outside. Because I'm like, I'm going to fly these. I'm going to take some pictures of this for my client. Then he's going to have something when he moves to Florida to remember this property. He comes out. He's like, what the hell is this? I said, this is my newest technology. It's called drone technology. And what I'm going to do, Jeff, is I'm going to film every single one of my properties free of charge. People are charging $350 a photo for a drone, or not even a drone. At the time, it was helicopter shots. For an aerial shot from a helicopter, they're charging $350, Jeff. I said, if they hire me to list their house, I'll give it to them for free. And then since then, my new thing is every month I go there and shoot aerial photography now. So you get monthly aerial photography when you hire me now. But no one does that where I am. But at the time, no one was doing aerial photography. And if they did, they would charge you $350. So I tell my clients or people I'd sit down with to get the listing, look, this is what I do different. Okay. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. I'm not going to tell you what your house is worth. I'm going to tell you what the market is saying. And you tell me what you're thinking. And I'll do my best for you, but remember what the market is saying. I'm not going to tell you where to price your house. That's up to you. What I'm going to do for you is share with you the information that will help you make that decision. And hopefully you do that. But if you say some number that is going to be difficult, I'm going to tell you, look, we could try what you want to try, but it's not going to work. And I had a client once want to sell something for $1 million when it was worth 600. I said, look, he goes, I have $1 million view. I said, yeah, but it doesn't work that way. He goes, yeah, but I have $1 million view. I said, look, if you want to put it on for $1 million, I just don't want to hear from you. I don't want to hear a word from you. And I said, I'm not being rude at all. I said, I really don't want to hear a word. I don't want you calling saying, why don't we have any showings? I don't want you saying, well, what are you doing to market? I don't want to hear any of that. Because when you overprice a property, people just laugh and they just move on. And for a year it sat there, and then eventually gave it to someone else and put it on for $650. I don't know if it ever sold, but he wouldn't give me the opportunity to sell it where I wanted to. I hate that. Don't give somebody an opportunity and then give the next guy the better number. Give the person who worked their tail off the number first to see if they could sell it. And if they can't, then give the next person the same number. See if they're worth their salt. You know how many times that happens? And I've been on the receiving end of that many times, and it's great. Oh, house is on for 2.5. Now I put it on for 2.4. I get to put it on for 2.350. Better. And I sell it in 3 weeks. All of a sudden, I'm the greatest agent in the history of time to that seller. They never gave the agent that chance. They worked with you for a year. You didn't give them a chance? Totally bothers me when that happens. So let me get back to the story at hand. This is a crazy story, obviously. And this goes back for 7 years now. So I go in there, guys, and I'm going to be on TV. I was on TV like 7 or 8 times in 2013, Fox News, Channel 12. Fox News, not regular. It was like Fox News Connecticut. So it's like not as big a deal. Channel 12 in Connecticut, Channel 8 in Connecticut. Everything was Connecticut-based. But I was on the Fox channel twice with George Colley. I was on anyway, I was on a lot that year. And I get a call from the guy, George. He goes, look, we want to get you back on again. And they're talking about how the FAA wants to shut down anybody like you who's out there shooting aerial photography, that it's illegal for you to shoot. I said, screw that. I'm not charging anybody money. I'm not charging them to shoot photos. And I still maintain that to this day. For you to say I sell a property and I get paid eventually for my aerial photography is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. People do work and want to be paid in the moment. If I do something for free and I eventually sell a piece of property and that drone shot was part of that sale, that doesn't make me a paid service for drone aerial photography. They tried to reach on that. So this is what they called me for. Hey, we want to have a great property though. Can we film you at a really cool property? What do you got? We shot you at this one. They shot me at a property that was like $1.7 million. I was like, oh, that was a great one. He's like, what else do you got? And I said, look, I know about this property that's insane. I wonder if, because this is Fox, Connecticut, if he'll be like excited about that and be like, you know what? Let's put my property in. Let's put it on the market. So I walk in his office. This is a great story. I walk in his office and this guy's in there, this creep. This guy's a creep. He gave me that icky feeling the moment I met him. And every single time I saw him, he'd give you that look down look. I'm like this. He's always doing this. You know, those types of people. Ugh. And so I walk in and I said, I don't want to say his name, but I said, hey, I just got a call from Fox, Connecticut, and they want to film me tomorrow, and they want to shoot me at a property, at a great property. And the market's starting, I think there may be an opportunity here. What do you think about listing your home and put it on TV tomorrow, and let's see if we can blow it out of the water, get some great press right off the bat, and sell this property? And there's the room, the air in the room goes, the guy Jay, I'll call him Jay, he goes, looks down like this, and the guy who owns the property goes, you know, I'm not ready to list the property, put it on the market now. Jay's working on a few things. And this is the guy I was telling you about, the creep who was trying to work on a deal behind. He's not a realtor. The reason he can't be a realtor is because he's a felon. I found that out later. So much crazy stuff to this story, guys. This would be a good movie. So anyway, this creep winds up putting the kibosh on me getting that listing. And I kick myself because this is the only time I ever asked him for the listing. Every time I went in there, I just had a conversation. I was waiting for him to bring it up. Hey, I told you once before, nobody ever talks about it, nobody ever brings it up. Nobody ever comes and sees me after the first time. You keep showing up. You know what? But he never brings it up. He keeps trying to sell it through this guy. I go in there, this is 10 months later, 11 months later. I walk in and like everything's boxed up. And I see him, he's sitting at his desk. And the door's open. It's never open. I always have to go and see her before I can go into there. As I walk up, I see the door's wide open, and he's sitting there at his desk, and there's boxes everywhere. And he looks at me and he goes, Mark, I sold the house. And my heart dropped into my stomach. Like a year of going to see him every month. And then in the split second, I'm saying, but I got so much tutelage and mentorship from this man. Like, okay. And he goes, well, wait, the guy who bought it wants to flip it. And I told him, if you're going to interview anybody, whoever you interview, you need to interview this one guy. Because he came and saw me month after month after month. And I want you to at least see this guy, because there's something I want you to see. Okay, give you at least him a chance. Interview wherever else you want. These people interviewed every single agent in New Canaan and Greenwich, 2 huge towns. I'm in New Canaan. I work in New Canaan. And he calls me in. It's a July 4th weekend. And let Sorry, let me correct myself. It was a Labor Day weekend. I walk over, and here's what I did. This is my move back then. I showed up with my drone and with paperwork. Walk in with paperwork in one arm, and I'm holding the drone, my briefcase with the drone in it in the other hand. I walk over to see these people. It's 10 people in the house. This is now a new Hong Kong owner. They're here from Hong Kong, and there's 10 of them. They're interviewing me. Sitting in a room, question after question. So I go outside with them, and I said, let me show you what I'm going to do with this property. I get my drone in the air. I'm flying it around, and I'm showing them different angles I can shoot with this thing and get of the property. And I said, I'm going to do this every month. And guess what? I'm going to keep making videos of this property. I'm going to do a walkthrough of the property, just like you see on TV. Yeah, I'm going to go through and talk about the kitchen. I'm going to talk about everything that this house has, the AZEK siding, and talk about the roof and that it's cedar. And talk about you have copper everywhere, and the lake in the back, and the tennis court. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I'm going to detail this thing like crazy. So the whole world knows what you have here. And he goes, this is something he said to me the first time. He goes, do you think that enthusiasm, this is the way he explained it, do you believe that enthusiasm sells properties? I looked, without even batting an eye, I go, absolutely. I said, are you kidding me? I said, when I believe something's amazing and I'm standing in a room talking to somebody about how great something is, like just feel the natural light coming into this house. I just feel like the moment happening in front of your eyes. And I'm like, look what you have here. Like sometimes I'm just realizing things like, can you imagine? Like you hear and you're like, oh, it's the paper. You open the door and your paper's sitting right there on the front because your proximity. It's just like all these little things. Oh, did you realize there's a donut shop around the corner? Sunday morning, you just take a walk there? Like, can you believe that? You could do that? I can't do that from where I live. Like, it's the little things. You're creating a flash, a memory, a pre-memory for somebody. Oh, geez, yeah, you know what? I could smell the cinnamon donuts already. If you're not passionate about what you're doing, really strongly consider looking within and see if you could bring something else to the surface. So that was a little real talk for you. Sario. That was basically what I did for 318 days. What you just got there, my story about that guy, that great guy. I've told that story many times before. Prior to doing the celebrity impressions, prior to doing the real talk, it's like face swap stuff. This was the show. It was just me talking about stuff. Sharing stories. And honestly, it's probably my favorite part about real talk, and we don't do it as much anymore. Yes, tell me your house story, brother. Yeah, the drone thing was amazing because a stat I heard in 2013 is that people have a 3-second attention span. So if that first photo doesn't capture their attention in that 3 seconds, they're gone. They're moving on to the next property. And my fear was someone passing by my great listing. So as an artist, I always took my own photos and I'd shoot my own aerial photography. And now I just shoot my own aerials. I don't shoot my own photos anymore. I just think it's a waste of my time because I'm not proficient at Photoshop. The drone work is easy because the lighting is right. It's there. Like a Lightroom, my drone photos, that'll work. Johnny boy, what's up, buddy? Let's see, John's got it. My buddy John's on. John, well, I still can't get you over onto YouTube, huh, pal? I'm a machinist here. I'm loving it. You've been driving and listening to the to this show or to the podcast. Have you guys downloaded the podcast yet? Guys, it's free of charge. Any podcast network. I dropped the 1 hour Trump thing. Marianne was on a couple weeks back. I got to put the Ryan Hartwig conversations out there still. I'm going to put out a new podcast tomorrow, so go and get one. It's free of charge. So in the contract I got from the seller, they paid for the inspection and the appraisal. Then also they agreed to pay at least 1% of your closing costs. Yeah, I've got a deal like that too right now. When people are motivated enough, they'll do some things. They fixed everything that I demanded. They fixed before I agreed to the contract. That's good too. Here's a trick too, just so you guys know, if you are a first-time buyer specifically, you typically, and you may have gotten lucky and maybe you got away with some things, but typically you ask for health and safety issues only. So there's a leak, oil tank is bad, boilers isn't working, air conditioning doesn't, turn on, something like that. That's health and safety. Mold, which you can't tell, but like some stuff like that, radon. Those are things the seller has to take care of for you. But walking around and saying, oh, that plug over there needs a cover, and oh, it looks like the light bulb is out over there, and oh, I saw a crack in that wall, you should fix it. Like, that stuff is not health and safety, and I always bat that stuff the hell down. I'll just be like, listen, health and safety, we will do. But please school your clients that this isn't an opportunity to renegotiate a deal. You did a deal because you saw all those things. Remember, what you see when you walk through a house and when you do your inspection, most of it's very similar. The only things you won't know about is boiler age, if it's functioning properly, if all the appliances are working. You don't know that stuff. But you can see if the windows are old. I've had people say stuff like, oh, well, the windows are old, I have to replace them, so let's get them to give us a credit, a closing. Can't do that. Sorry. Because we walked around this house and we could see the windows that they weren't new. You can't bring that up afterwards. Oh, the roof looks like it needs to be replaced. You know what? We're gonna ask for a credit at that closing. No. We could see when we walked through this house and we looked at this house that roof was old. You can't now say, oh, well, the roof is old. It doesn't work that way. Same thing with driveways. There's a crack in the driveway. Let's ask them to fix it. You put that into your offer price, or you put it into your offer. Hey, look, my offer is X, but I want you to do that driveway crack. Windows are old. I want you to replace the windows. You don't bring it up afterwards because that's when deals fall apart. So anyway, let's see what it says. Then Paul said, then when it closed, I had to pay $0 at closing, and I got my seed money back in the amount of $500, and I got $1,000 from my dad for the finder's fee. That's awesome. $840 per month. That's what you get to pay for the house? Dude, I gotta move to freaking Albuquerque. What the hell am I doing here? This is crazy. Paul said, I almost bought a house before this one that needed a roof, so I backed out because they didn't want to replace the roof. But here's the difference. So if you had done it this way, here's a smart way to get about it. If you really wanted that house and you have your agent to reach out to the other agent and you say, look, have your clients fix the roof and we'll pay them the number. They want $510, we'll give them $510. But they need to do the roof, okay? We'll give them the $510. At closing, they get the $510, or we don't do the deal. Because you're not going to pay for it out of pocket. But if you negotiated into the deal, so you probably knew it was bad up front. So if that property's on for $550,000, you back out that deal, or you say, look, I will pay you the number you need, but you need to fix that roof. So there's a way to get around it, and then the mortgage would pay them back the costs, of the roof. So that's a way to do it as well. If you really love something, there's creative ways to make deals happen. You just have to get an agent who will think outside the box. Life is about stopping in the moment and saying, wait a second, let's just think about this. Let's analyze what options you have. It's amazing. We have a lot of alarmists in the real estate industry. People just, oh my goodness, there's the crack. Oh my goodness, the walls have to be painted. Oh my goodness, it needs a new kitchen. It's going to be $1 million. No. Here's the other thing. I built homes with my father and my brother for 13 years before isn't it crazy? Everything in my life is 13s. 13 years I worked for my dad before I stopped, and then I'm working for real estate for 13 years. Yeah. Yeah, I was working for my dad. I was like 14 or 15, for sure. Yeah, a new roof is going to cost something, but I still think you get a roofer to take care of it, and that $10,000 is into the mortgage. They get it back a couple weeks later. Deal closes, they get their $10K back. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to offer them $490 because it needs a roof, and they're like, no, I want $500. Say, okay, I'll give you the 5, but you need to freaking fix the roof. And we'll pay you the 5. See how long we've been on. 2 hours and 6 minutes, and I played like a few songs. Did a lot of real talk tonight, guys.
A lot of real talk. Guys, you've got to talk real, always, okay? If you're not going to.
Yeah, the adjusting for repairs, if you do it up front and you ask for things in your offer, that's the other thing. You got to be key. I'm key on that. I'll be like, look, here's the offer, and we want you to do this, 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 and this. Sometimes they'll come back and be like, we're not going to do that, and we're not going to do that. I'll be like, okay, we'll see what we can do. And deals come together when you ask for things up front. They fall apart when you try to renegotiate after an inspection. Everybody's trying to like pull some scheme. You know, it's like, you know why? Because they're always like, oh, well, you have fiduciary duty and you have to make sure that you get a great deal for your clients. I get awesome deals for my clients, but you know what? I get along with every agent. It's not about being a jerk. You know what I mean? Like, people are like jerks. It's funny. I'll be on the other side with a deal of a deal with someone. I'm like, geez, this person's a jerk. And there's no reason to be a jerk. Oh, I get it. You gotta be a shark. Oh, I gotta be a shark for my client. Oh, I gotta be a shark. Oh, do you? Ugh, elbow in the fotch. Okay? You don't want me to get upset. That's the bottom line. Like, I don't get upset very often, but when I do, like, I just start going. You know, and this one lady's like really got under my skin. I was like, are you kidding me? First of all, I never even heard this lady in my life. She's from up the line, right? And she starts getting like uppity and loud with me, and I'm like, what? How dare you? How dare you? And I was so glad when I finally called her back and I said, my clients are not buying your property. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to give you a little piece of advice. I'm not sure how long you've been in this business. I said, but you should treat people kindly. That's how deals get done. I said, the way you treated me during this deal is not the way anybody should be treated. And I'm the positivity guy. Hope you have a nice day. Paul said, it's funny because, let me go back. He says, I was really diligent in my offer because I had my dad helping me. That's huge. Your dad's a property manager, so he knows. He said, it's funny because my agent was always asking why I wasn't so enthusiastic about the first deal, and the one we ended up with doing something with I wasn't comfortable with. Do you think it's a good idea to buy a house when you're in the military? Absolutely. I'm a machine. Buy a house for 2 reasons. First of all, you can do it with 0 money down. You can use something called the, what's it called again? I had to deal with these jerks. It's not fun for me when I deal with them. You know what I'm talking about, the bank, right? It's a specific bank that's, I can't think of it right now. The VA loan, yeah, they have stuff like that. But there's a AAA or something. It's not AAA. It's something like that, though, okay? And it's a bank that was created in like the 40s for only military families. And if you're a part of this bank, you get into the relocation program, and they call someone like me, and I go and help you. Problem is they take like 50% of my commission, these jerks, such scumbags. And you're planning to do the full 20 years. Well, I'm a machine, I'll tell you what. If you buy now, it's likely to go up in time. Where are you living, Amma? And if you need an agent, I'll set you up with someone. Don't forget that. Just let me know where you're looking and I'll find you someone awesome. Oh, and listen to what Paul said. He said, you don't have to be in the military for that amount of time. You can get a VA loan even if you're just a veteran. I think Amma's getting ready to start. He's getting ready to go into the military now, if I'm correct. Yeah, I had a client recently. This was crazy. He was a military man, and I'm out working with him with the this company. I can't think of the name of it right now. And USAA. It took me a little time, but I figured it out. So USAA, I'm with this client, showing him properties, and he's like, yeah, I'm putting 0% down. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I'm putting 0% down. And I can get, this is the crazy thing. He was like, I can get loaned up to like $603,000 with 0% down. I don't have to put a penny down. And they'll give me $603,000. So wow. And like you said, lowest rates too. Okay, Ahmed Machine says he's in Cali, but he's still not enlisted, still in college. So let me ask you, brother. Okay, he wants to be a pilot. That's pretty cool. You know, you gotta... The crazy thing about being a pilot is the speed, right? I mean, to be in those... Now, the thing is with Amma, I think now with pilots, there's less pilots actually in the air more than drone... there's like... What do they call that? It's like interactive. You know, you're sitting there in a room controlling a drone, I think. They're doing less of the flying actual aircraft. Pretty sure. Eureka. Alma Machine said, I think I read that the Force said they would pay the mortgage while I'm in. Yeah, there's a worldwide pilot shortage for sure. How about this, Alma Machine? How about getting into the Space Force?
I'm just saying, Alma Machine, we could really use some young blood. I was thinking about getting an Alma Machine replica to shoot them down in our newest program from the Space Force. That's right. I have a new logo. I've been working on it with Melania. That's right. She's taking control of the logo, of the Space Force logo. I'm loving it. Have you seen it? It looks quite brilliantly lovely, if those are two words that could go together.
Worldwide pilot shortage. That's a terrible thing. Listen, what am I doing at 2:15? I'm still playing more songs, 2 hours and 15 minutes in. All right, let's play one more, and then I'm going to get in FaceSwap for you. We did Running Down a Dream. That's a great tune, isn't it? Wasn't there one more song I didn't do yet from him? Let's see. I don't think so. Oh, you know what I wanted to try was this. I want to try this. I've never tried this before, but I heard someone sing it once at a festival when I was about 19. If I can find it. Oh, I think it's... Ooh, Charlie Daniels. Someone told me to play that recently. It was Dagger. Okay, that's not it right there. It's close. Let's see. Why don't they give me the full song? I was thinking about that song, Simple Man. I just don't know. I can't find the actual chords. But I was thinking that would have been a pretty cool song to play. Right? What about The Who? I don't know why I'm thinking about The Who. Never played them before either.
The Who. Who? What? When? I'm talking about The Who, people. Let's look into it. Let's see if we can find a song. Behind Blue Eyes. I've heard of that one, I believe.
My buddy Andrew is the biggest Who fan. Oh, I always wanted to play this tune, but I don't know. No chords. Great. Thanks for coming out, people.
Out here in the field, I fight for my views. I get my back into my lyrics.
That's crazy high, dude. Are you serious? Should I be playing it that high, or is it in a different key?
What's the deal with that one, guys?
Let's see if we can find another one. It's also... see, I don't know any of the names of these songs.
Sooner or later.
See, I don't know any of their music, guys. Like, my generation. There we go. Talking about my generation. Nope. Chords don't look right. What else do we got, guys? I don't know. Pinball Wizard, maybe? No? Eh. All right, let's just do this one.
Looking for some prison, that's where I want to stay. And then people keep it moving on down the sand and tone. And why are those rich folks eating in their fancy dining car? Probably drinking coffee and smoking big cigars, but I know I had it coming. I know I can't be free. And then people keep on moving on down the sand and tone. Watch him die. And then people keep on moving on down the sand and tone. Yeah, then people keep on moving and they're on the sand and tone. Oh, then people keep on moving on down the sand and
Little Johnny for you. Well, maybe we'll end on that. Thanks, brother. Wow, I'm machine drove for 300 miles. My brother.
thought about getting my master's while I'm in, then switch to the Space Force. Dude, do it. Do it. Do it. They're looking for a few good men. I'm seeing. I'm a machine. Making it happen. Space Force 2027. Okay, just 7 years of hard work. I will tell you this, I'm a machine. Every single thing in your life worth fighting for is worth fighting for. You need to go for it, because you know what? The only way you get it is when you fight for it. The only way you can actually accomplish something is when you show up and you keep going. No matter what the detractors are, what they say, you fight through it. It's all noise, my brother. It's all noise. Use it. Use it. That's what we've been doing. 567 days. 5, 6, 7. I'll take all that negativity. I'll just, thank you. Deposit it into my ATM machine next time I'm feeling down on myself. I'll be like, oh, remember that guy who said you can't? Oh, remember that guy who said, well, thank you. That's why I know some people get like sidetracked when you have something like a troll hit the airwaves with you, you know? Like, oh, they got me there, you know? And I'm always just like, it's all love. And at the end of the day, if someone's trying to get under your skin, you have to know what you do. You have to feel confident that what you're doing is what you're meant to be doing. And someone trying to slow that down or sidetrack you or saying that what you're doing isn't good or right or whatever, that's just the reality. Or people who try to take you out of the moment, what you have to realize is that they have now become part of your moment. Enjoy it. Figure out what that means. You know, if someone's giving you enough attention that they have to try to do something like that, thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate you tuning in. They're either going to leave because they don't want to deal with the fact that someone's not playing along with them, or maybe they actually start to listen to the content and realize that it's something that they can connect with. I don't know. That's all I'm saying. 2 hours and 23 minutes and 27 seconds. For sure. Machine said, once the path is clear, I'm on 112%. You know what? For me, the path is inwards, though. Don't forget that. It's not going somewhere. It's going within in order to find that special uniqueness. I call it a unique genius. Each of us has one. One, if maybe even more. I think mine happened to be with this and then impressions and then creating crazy face swaps. I never knew I could do that. That just started happening, and now every single day I have a new one. In fact, I think we should play it one more time here because Machine didn't see this yet. This is today's. Give me a break here. I'm going to go and fill my coffee cup real quick. Here we go.
Hammerlin Jamison live from the studio. Donald Trump coming at us from the Rose Garden. Look, I'm telling you right now, the country turns to crap with Sleep Sofa Joe. In the Oval Office, he's going to get rid of the chair at the desk, and instead he's going to put a sleep sofa right there. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. I'm getting a word in my ear right now that he will be the Sleep Sofa in the White House. They're going to call him Sleep Sofa 1. They're going to have a nickname for Biden. It's going to be Sleep Sofa 1. Like for me, they call me Mr. Billions. And look, we all have a nickname. Just Sleep Sofa is going to be Sleep Sofa 1. I don't know. We're going to work on that one, especially, well, we'll come up with the titles before Sleep Sofa takes over office for me. I can see it already. Sleep Sofa 1 on the move. It's going to be hilarious. Betsy and I have been talking about it behind the scenes. I said, look, worst case scenario, Betsy. If we can't beat the Sleep Sofa, then leave him a nice present as he arrives into the Oval Office. Oh, yes, please, I'll take my coffee. Oh, he's already taking a nap. Sleep Sofa 1 is napping. Oh, I could see it already. I almost want to lose, just so I could speak to the Secret Service afterwards and hear all about it. But anyway, we'll get back to that. I think I'll see you tomorrow for the next Trump show.
He's coming back tomorrow with the next Trump show, people. Hold on. Give me a minute here. I'm getting comfortable. My comfy chair is back. Let me get this going. This is feeling good, guys. There we go.
I'm worth billions. They call me Mr. Billions. Don't forget that. But we call Sleep Sofa Joe. He's going to be Sleep Sofa 1. Imagine that. They're like, Sleep Sofa 1's on the move. I can see it. I can see it already. It's happening. Anyway, guys, it's been a real show. Another one. I mean, this was probably one of the craziest real talks in a little bit because it was straight up real talk tonight. We got into a lot of cool stuff. We talked about my mentor story. Can I tell you just to finalize that, because we got to get back to, I didn't finish it. Did not finish it. So Labor Day, I sit down with these people. The guy says to me, do you think enthusiasm sells? I said, of course it does. And he goes, you're right, it does. I ended up getting the listing. Had the listing for a year. He paid $8.9 million for this property. And 2 months later, he asked me to put it on for $15 million. All he did was some landscaping. The problem was the house. The house was old. It was dated. He put $250,000 into the landscaping. I said, put $250,000 into the house. Forget about the freaking landscaping. Leave the landscaping. House. No, I want to open up the property and make it all a big front yard. There's about a lot of trees in the front. No, I want to clear it all. Get rid of it all. He spent $250,000. Okay. House still looks the same. Paid $8.9. Sell it for $15. Yeah, why not? Here's the crazier thing. $8.9 million. That was after that seller. I told you someone had the listing. 5 different agents had that listing before I walked in the door. And he didn't give me the listing. I saw him for a year, but 5 other people had that listing. So for 6 years, he tried to sell the house and couldn't. He tried to auction it off at $7 million. That was like the reserve, and they couldn't sell it. So this guy pays $8.9. 2 months later, puts $250,000, and he wants me to sell for $15. Thank you, Denise. And so I'm like, there's no way. I can't sell something. I mean, and I'll try. I was like, this is what I told you. Here's the market. The market's saying this is worth like 7.5. You paid $8.9. Like, oh. But it's worth like, we could put it on for $8.9. Why do you want to sell it right now? I don't understand. It was 6 years the guy tried to sell it. But anyway, so here, put it on for 15, kid. Okay, I'll put it on for 15. This whole year, this guy rode me. The whole year. Now, I'm on a phone call with them every Sunday night in Hong Kong. They're Sunday morning in Hong Kong. It was Monday morning, I assume. And it's Sunday night my time here in Connecticut. And I'm on a Zoom call with these people. I think it was Skype at the time. 2013 or 14. Skype. And these people from Hong Kong every Sunday would grill me. Why didn't you sell the house yet? What kind of marketing you do? Did you do this? Did you do that? Okay, we want you to do this for next week. We want you to do that for next week. And there would be a group of people firing stuff off of me. And I'm taking notes at 10 o'clock at night. Like, what are you kidding me? These people were the biggest jerks in the world. The whole year. Oh, you can't. They'd say stuff like, he would say, this guy, he'd be like, you can't sell real estate. He would say like really demeaning things to me. I'm like, wait a second. You bought something after 6 years for $8.9 million, did nothing. You want 15. That's a $6.2 million profit. Something like that, whatever it is. And I'm the bad salesman? No. But I will tell you, the guy did a number on me. He really did. He took a lot out of me. The bigger reason is I got 2 properties from him that year. That property and then one in Greenwich that was right on the water. I had about 7 offers on that one. This is a bigger kick in the head right here, okay? So I'm selling this property. I get an offer the last week. I've had it for a year. I've had lots of offers. None of them were good enough. This is I think it was $21.5 million. Some stupid amount. It's Greenwich waterfront. It was something like 10 acres. It was crazy. And it was subdividable, okay? They had 2 lots there, but you could put them back together. You could get rid of one. You could build 2 houses. There's a lot of cool stuff that you could do with this lot. So it's on for $22 million, something like that. I get a guy come along last week. He says, look, I don't want that piece over there. I just want this piece. And it's on, I have it listed like 3 different ways. I got it listed for $15 million, got it listed for $7.5 million, for just the piece of land. And then the whole thing is like $21 million or something like that, 22. So you save like $500,000 if you buy just the whole thing as one.
This guy comes along. He's like, look. And he's like from Saudi Arabia or whatever. And he's like, I want the whole thing. No, I don't want the whole thing. I just want this piece. And I'll give you $14 million. It's not for 15. He's gonna give me $14 million. He's like, I'll close in 2 weeks. I call the guy. I'm like, look, I know, I just got an offer. $14 million, cash deal, 2 weeks. I expect, great job, Mark. That's great. Let's try to work with this. He's like, all right, I don't know. If it's not 15. Excuse me? He wants full asking price, this guy. I'm like, we're not even close to that market where I am. Like, not even close. Every other offer was like $7 million for that property. You got someone at 14. The first thing you should be thinking, okay, is how do we get them? If I want to bridge the gap, how do we do that? He's a jerk. He's not doing that. He's like, oh, it's not 15. I'm like, what? I got this guy to $14.5 million, 2-week close, no inspections. Somehow I drag a yes out of this guy. All right. It's about to expire 2 days from now. So I'm like, okay, I don't know what to do because I don't want it to expire. Everybody and their cousin's calling this guy. And they're like, I want your listing. And we have a deal. I just got a deal together. 2-week close. So he's got this attorney. Again, it's just 2 properties. One of them is facing this direction. The other one's facing that direction. So you can see like New York City. The other one's facing like the Cove. It's not even, you can't see New York City from this other property because there's so much foliage between the two. Okay, just keep that in mind. So this jerk attorney, behind my back, I put a deal together, a good deal. $14.5 million deal. All you have to do is get the paperwork signed. This freaking attorney goes in and he creates what's called a view easement. If you don't know what a view easement is, I'm going to tell you. So basically, you could build on this part of property, but you can't build over here because it messes with my view from this lot over here. So these jerks are about to get $14.5 million for one piece of their 2-piece property. They still have one to sell. And they're throwing in, again, I told you, you don't renegotiate a deal after a deal is put together, especially behind an agent's back. Does this? The buyer freaking walks. He doesn't like the way it feels. He's like, I'm buying for $14.5 million. You're going to tell me where I could build on my property? He's like, screw you. I need the whole thing now. I'll give you 15 for the whole thing. For $500,000, he wants the whole thing now. So the deal died. It died because of this jerky attorney. And I remember I couldn't give him the screws. I was like, why wouldn't you call me? Like, oh, I thought that it would be fine, And I said, can I ask you a question? Which one of you geniuses said, let me put a view easement on this property? Don't you realize that there's 4 feet of foliage that goes 30 feet up between these 2 properties? You can't see that way. This guy who just paid 15 is not going to cut down those trees for you to have a view. You just killed the deal for no reason. He's like, oh, I didn't realize that. I said, you don't just do things on your own. You circumvent the deal. You killed my deal, the biggest deal of my life. He killed. So I get on the phone. I call this guy Joe. Joe showed the property earlier in the year. His clients were at I want to say it was like $17.5 for the entirety. For $22 million property. They wanted to pay $17.5. And I called him up. I said, look, I just had a deal fall through. And I know you got your guy to $17.5. But can you get him to 20? Can we do a deal? Because my guy will go for 20. But he's not going to go to $17.5. He goes, let me give my guy a call. Comes back to me. He goes, look, we'll do 18. I'm like, I got something here. We're at 15, 14.5, or we're at 18 for the whole thing. We're getting close. Maybe I could do this deal. Call the guy back. Look, I got you 18 for the whole thing. You could just walk away. That's not good enough. I want 20. What? Let me just backtrack. Do you know what he paid for that whole property? For the entire property, he paid $11 million. So he could have taken $6.5 million in that first deal at $17.5 and been like, I just made $6.5. Greed. Nope, I want 20. He wants to make $9 million on his $11 million investment. Yeah, get that right. So I told the guy, look, he's not going to take 18. Can you get your guy? My guy's coming back. He wants 20. This guy comes up to $18.5 million. And the guy, I have days left. It's going to expire. The guy says, nope, I want more. Deal died. The two biggest deals of my life die in the moment because of a jerky attorney. The bottom line is, sometimes you have no control over things. You do a good deal and there's other people that screw it up. Now, this took a lot of wind out of me, I'll tell you. For a full year, I would say, I just was kind of sidetracked by that. I mean, imagine you have a deal that, just to give you rough numbers, let's think about this. I don't like to think about this, but just rough numbers. That's about, after a realtor company takes their cut, it's roughly $300,000 commission. Roughly. That would have been the year of my life. That would have been the trade of my life. That would have set me on a whole different trajectory. I would have bought property. The first thing I would have done, if I had a payday like that, going to buy my first piece of property. But that was taken away from me. It was snaked away by the evil of the world. You do a good deal, and then some attorney says, well, I'm going to put a view easement on it. You got to be kidding me. Unbelievable. Oh, you missed a lot, Paul. I basically just shared a story about my two biggest defeats in real estate, essentially. Is one transaction. This Hong Kong crazy investor just beat the hell out of me for a year. Took the wind out of my sails. You know, Barbara Corcoran, you guys know Corcoran, she has a saying, it's not how often you fall, it's how quickly you get back up. I'm pretty good at getting back up, but that one beat the hell out of me, man. That one beat the hell out of me. I was just about to leave, I was just about to go to Florida with my family to see my in-laws and to spend some time in Florida, and I had a deal for a $300,000 commission set. And I got on the plane, and when I got off the plane, the deal was dead. The attorney screwed me over because he's an idiot. The view easement's pointless on that property, but he freaking thought he was being some genius real attorney. I can't stand attorneys that think they know what they're doing. They screw a deal up by being creative. Don't be a creative attorney, okay? I gave you the deal. Write the freaking deal up and get the hell out of the way. I still can't believe that guy did that to me. Here's the biggest kick in the head, okay? About 6 months ago on LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn too if you guys aren't. Find me over there if you are. I'm on every platform. Down below you could see, I think it's a instabio link. You can see all the platforms I'm on. Anyway, about 6 months ago on LinkedIn, I see a notification from this guy. I'll just tell you his name. He's such a jerk. This guy, Neo. Neo's like, it was like a work. No, here's what it was. I had done like a full year. That's what it was. It was my full year anniversary of Real Talk. 365 days in a row of Real Talk. And I put it out on LinkedIn. Hey, day 365 in a row. That's 365 days in a row of 1 hour plus of Real Talk. Positivity every single day, just to remind you that if there's a lot of darkness out there, there's one thing of positivity that you could rely on day after day for the rest of my days at least. And so I show up and I say it, and I see like a comment on my LinkedIn. I'm like, oh, what's that? Nobody ever comments on my LinkedIn. I'll post great stuff, Donald Trump show, and I'll see a couple likes, some views. I don't even know how to get it or growth over on LinkedIn. I'm not sure, but I'll post it. And I see a comment. Oh, it's Neo. Let's see what he has to say. Oh, hey, sell more houses. Sell more houses. Sell more houses. Well, I would have sold a house, if not two, if you weren't such a jerk. Undercutting me. I bring you a deal for $14.5, which you kill it. $18.5, you say no to. I think he sold that property. Now look, he got more, but a year and a half later, he got $19,250 and he sold that property. He put somebody else through the same mess, and eventually he took $19,250. Now look, I didn't get $19,250. He's got a point. But when you pay $11 million for something, and a guy's working his tail off for you for a year plus, brings you $18.5, $7.5 million profit, you say yes. You don't let greed take you. I want more. Freaking evil. Go back. Go pound sand. You know, I'm over people like that. You know, let me get the most out of this guy. Let me step all over him with this higher than X realtor. Like, what a jerk. You know, like, it's not like I didn't just bring you 18.5 and bring you 14.5 and do all this stuff. You couldn't give me more time to try to get you 19.250? I didn't earn more time? This is the problem. Final note. Russian roulette. You know the game? Sellers play agent roulette. Oh, well, Mark didn't do it. Let's reload the firearm and see if the next person gets lucky. And they're not even offering anything. They'll hire people who offer them less, that provide less value, less service, less passion. But you know what? I gotta change it. Let's see if I can change it up. Maybe if I reduce the price. Do you guys know that house is on the market for like 4.25 right now? $4,250,000. The guy paid 8.9. He had me put it on for 15. It's on for 4,250. Because he was out of his freaking mind. And nobody wants that crap. I bet you it's sold though at 4,250. Although the taxes are like $126,000 a year. Yeah, something like that. It's crazy. Glenn Gary, Glenn Ross. Oh man, ABC. You better be closing that mofo. You know what I'm saying? Look, I'm thinking about, for Real Talk too, one of the concepts of this show too was to go live more during the day at properties, doing walkthroughs. I'd love to be with clients and have them bring me into the show, let me bring them into the show, but I don't know if they'd allow that. But I'd like to start doing more of that, not just nighttime here in front of the screen, you know? So lots of stuff planned going forward. I'm still working. Trump episode 2 is starting tomorrow. I got to get that going. Freaking A. Been on for 2 hours and 44 minutes right now. But you guys are with me, so I can't go anywhere. That's just the way it works here. I'm not sure if you knew that. But if you hang out with me, I hang out with you. Ooh. Gangstas in the house. I love it. Paul said, did you know that Glengarry Glen Ross was about a suburb of Albuquerque called Rio Rancho? Rio Rancho Estates. Look, I got a great plot of land here. Look, Ricky Roma. Look, it's Ricky Roma. Look, I want you to come down and sign that paperwork. You wouldn't know your head if it came out of your butt. Who told you to speak? What does he say? Oh. What's his name? Jack Lemmon's name in that. They call him the something, the Ricky or something like that. What's his name? They were selling Rio Rancho Estates. I remember that. Oh no, Ricky, your deal went through fine. I put it through last night. It got through. Yo, no, go back inside, stupid. What does he say? He's like, whoa, who you talking to? My deal. Who? Anyway, Glengarry Glen Ross, great movie, guys. If you haven't seen it, you should see it. I'm about to doze off here 1:30 in the morning. But you're with me, so I gotta stick with you. Let me play you a face swap real quick. Drink my coffee. Wake me up a second or two. What was this one? The UPS. Oh, he's asking for a special favor. You remember?
That's Hammerlin Jamison with some GoPro footage of Donald Trump at UPS tonight. I'm very happy to be here at UPS, United Parcel Services. I actually just shipped something last week for you guys. Of course, you're doing big league numbers. I'm pretty sure it's all of you that we have to thank for that. So Trumper has one request. My niece just released a book, and I'd like you to delay shipment, perhaps lose packages, whatever you've got to do. We have to save the Republic. Don't forget, they all work for the radical left, and my niece is a cog in the wheel, really. You can't forget that the Democrats will do whatever they can to try to take down Trump. Let's fight fire with fire. Don't we have any positive books coming out about me? I mean, it's like one after the other of hit jobs here. Somebody should get Nicholas Sparks on retainer. We should write a book about Trump and his heart. It's a heart of gold, really.
It's a heart of gold. Donald Trump, I've got a heart of gold and a toilet of gold as well. Let me play you the bar bit real quick. Did you guys see this one? Did you see this one yet, Alma?
It's Hammerlin Jamison live from the studio. Donald Trump discusses President Xi and Biden. Thank you. Thank you very much. So glad to be standing in front of you on this Friday. We've got a lot to discuss. China, did you hear about Bill Barr? Attorney General Bill Barr got up and said China is the worst thing to happen to America since China. That's right. We already had a problem with China, and we kind of let them come back. I think it may have been Reagan. It's not a good thing, I know. But China becomes part of the World Trade Organization again. And then, of course, they're going to let them do all kinds of things, and they're taking advantage of our country. It's important for you to understand that we're going to hold China and President Xi accountable. That's right. I know. Look, the Wuhan, China, they had their worst year in 67 years, and it's because of Trump. So we have to try to give them another bad year. Nobody has put more time and effort in than my number 2. That's right, Mike Pence, the greatest number 2. Mikey Pence. I call him Pensy. That's right. We have nicknames. Pensy. Of course, we call Biden Sleep Sofa Joe, or Bumbling Biden. He's a bumbling Biden. I joke that he's a bumbling Biden sleeping on the sleep sofa, but he really instead is the sleep sofa. Look, if I lose, it's going to be doubly bad because Sleep Sofa Joe is going to beat me. The guy can't even string 3 words together without a teleprompter. But look, we'll see what happens in the debates. Looking forward to it, Sleep Sofa. Bumbly, 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 bumbly. We'll have a lot of fun. Anyway, look, I gotta go. Bumbly, bumbly, bumbly. Look, the G-hole knows all about it. You've got to continue to pressure the G-hole. Sometimes it feels good to him. He's like, oh, I like it when you do that to the G-hole. But most times he's going to be probably be pretty offended by the comment. Look, you're a G-hole. It just feels right. Especially after Kung Fluey. I call it Fluhan, but whatever. When you're dealing with the Fluhan, you have to be reactionary, okay? You can't wait for President G-hole to say, look, this is what's going on. You've got to be reactionary and say, look, if you don't take your Fluhan back, I'm going to drop a missile right into your G-hole. Just letting you know.
I just had... there we go. Paul said he is looked negatively upon because he was a politician before Trump came into power, but he is so down for the cause. And then Gangsta said this grilled cheese is the bomb, and I'll tell you what, brother, it's 1:32 right now, but you got me thinking about making a grilled cheese. I'm just saying, everybody's asleep in my house, but I may be cooking up a grilled cheese in about 37 seconds. I may play you guys something and go up and eat a grilled cheese. Episode 10 of the Donald Trump Show is exactly 10 minutes and 10 seconds long. And it's ridiculous. It's, how sour is that Don Lemon? Gangsta. You better have enough grilled cheese for the rest of us next time. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. You know what I'm seeing right now in a moment, Paul? If we had one of those from the bank, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, thanks, Gangsta. Dude, seriously, best grilled cheese ever. From Norway. Just like that. Gangsta. Paul, how's yours? It's delicious. I'm in Albuquerque. It's phenomenal. Best grilled cheese I've ever had. And then you got, let's see who else is on with us. I was going to throw somebody else in the mix. The tubes from the bank. Exactly, right? Across the interwebs, yes. Look, I'm going to send it across the interwebs. Number two. Yes, Dr. Evil.
Can you get me, please? I'm looking for the tubes from the bank that they have. I want you to get them here. We're going to use them on the interwebs, okay? And we're going to have all of the money of the world sent directly through those tubes to Dr. Evil, okay? Do it, number 2.
Anything you need, Dr. Evil. We haven't done a Dr. Evil clip in a while either, guys. I'm going to have to make that happen. You know what I got to do? I'm going to play you. Oh my goodness. Do you want to see Trump Bezos? I'll get a good one for you, brother. Check this out. This is probably one of the first bits I did where it was all about video face swaps. Let me see if I can find it for you. Yeah, here we go. So this is when I was first doing video face swaps, and I came up with this idea. Coronavirus had just hit, and everyone's acting like a crazy foolio, and like, I got to do something about this. They're buying toilet paper like mad. Do you guys remember this? Everybody's like, I got to go buy toilet paper. Like, you don't need that much toilet paper. No, I got to buy more. Look, I got to go more and more and more. Unbelievable. All right, I'm having trouble finding it, though. I don't know where the hell it is. Did I put it in over here? I don't think I put it in over here. Dr. Evil. Wait a second. I got a lot of Dr. Evil clips, guys. We could play one of those. You know what? I'm going to play this while I look. Check this out. Did you guys hear about Dr. Soros? Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the scene is set. Number 2.
Dr. Evil. Vladimir Putin's on the phone.
Dr. Evil, it's Vladimir. We have the news. Well, it's really good to have you on the line, Vladimir. I'm so glad that our plan is working.
Right now is good mission. Is an American run.
Look, all I want you to know, Vladimir, is that we have to put the pressure on. More cities.
They riot in the street. Good.
Now to part 2, our secret weapon. You know who I'm talking about. Let's get him on the line.
Dr. Evil. George Soros is on the line.
George.
Dr. Evil.
What's the deal?
Can I play too?
What you got going on over there? Give us the scoop.
I want to play.
Let me put you on speaker. Yep, here we go. What do you got, George?
I'll put money in as well, and we could take over the solar system.
We have to find a way to stabilize Donald Trump as well.
Bring Trump Walker to me. I will turn him, or I will destroy him.
Hell yeah. Palpatine! Are you kidding me? Dude, you knew Soros was Palpatine, right? Seems like it to me, people. Seems like it to me. Exactly. He straight up is the Emperor. I said, look, he's the Emperor, but he also played Jabba the Hutt. It's a couple of movies show as a body double. They're like, hey, George, we need you to play the body double of Jabba, but actually we're going to actually use your voice as Jabba's. Thanks for coming out. So this is what I was looking for. I found it. Check this out. Paul, I think you'll like this.
So first I want to ask Jeff Bezos. Bezos, do you think that there's a chance you could help us with the toilet paper situation?
Certainly. If there's something that we can do to help, we're going to do it.
We're dealing with it, but it just doesn't seem like there's a lot of toilet paper out there. Yeah, big league. Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe you have some extra Charmin. Maybe you have some Charmin double ply. That would be nice for the people. If we could get some double ply toilet paper, I think they'd be very happy.
I think it's very important for us to be there for the American people. And if they need toilet paper, I'm going to get them toilet paper. I'm Bezos.
How about you, Elon Musk? Is there any way that you could make the ventilators that you said you could make? We could really use them right now. We'd really like to have as many ventilators as possible, Elon, if you can make that happen. Is that possible?
I think it's very important that we have as many ventilators as possible. So if you need ventilators, Donald, I will get you as many ventilators as you need.
Mark Zuckerberg, we need your help.
We have to stop the spread of coronavirus.
We need everybody to stay inside. Can they go on Facebook more often? How about that? Maybe they would just entertain themselves with Facebook.
I'm going to do my part. I'll tell everybody on Facebook.
Well, I want to thank you all for joining me. And remember, tomorrow we will be getting together again, same time, same place. And Bezos, don't forget my Charmin. I want 2 rolls. Double play. Have a great night.
Double play. That seemed to be playing fast for some reason. I don't know why I did that. But it's like, oh, look, it's going to be double play. It's not that fast. I don't know why it was. I think we'll use this one. That's why. So I'm going to play you something real quick. Because I'm on the Dr. Evil kick. There were 3 bits I put out. One of them went semi-viral, I would say, for this show. But I think I should play all 3 of them for you, okay? Here's number 1. Check this out.
Dr. Evil, are you there? Well, hi, Bill Gates. How are you? Do you have a second to talk? Yep, I'm here in the evil lair right now. I heard about all your work on the vaccines. Quite promising. Hold on. Put you on speakerphone. So tell me, what's the latest, Bill? Look, we have to get our vaccines in order if we want to try to stop the spread of the coronavirus. And consequently, I own all of the patents and I have all of the companies that are actually going to provide the vaccines. And Moderna, you may have heard of, that's actually my company. I'm going to be the one who makes all the money at the end. But we have to do it. It's going to kill a lot of people and it's going to put a lot of more money in my pocket to be the shelf effect where everybody else dies and I get everything. I'm going to try to take over the world is really the plan here. Look, Bill, that's usually what we do here at Evil Headquarters. I'm frickin' Dr. Evil. Anyway, how could I help? Well, it looks like I've got everybody lined up and ready for the big reveal. They're all afraid. They're at home quarantined, and they're not sure if it's safe to go outdoors. So they're ready for the takedown. Yeah, I get it. You want to take over the world. People are starting to understand that I have an ulterior motive, and it's financially based, it's population reduction based, and they don't like it. And I just want to try to find out how to do it successfully like you did. I don't have time to give you the ins and outs. Do you have any tips or suggestions that you can give me? Well, Bill, fear seems low. I would release the murder hornets. Well, I really appreciate your advice, Dr. Evil. I know you've gone through this before. I do take over the world at least once a month. I think it's very important that we do this the right way. The right way is the only way. If we do it correctly from the beginning, then I'm going to be the leader of the world. Look, Bill, I'm going to be honest with you. What's yours is mine. I'm just going to do it all myself. I already released the murder hornets. Don't open your windows.
Ha! Don't open your windows. So look, just so you know, these are Dr. Evil clips with Dr. Fauci, with Bill Gates. There's a 3-pack of these, okay? And then we go, if you go backwards, though, all my Dr. Evil clips originally were with Donald Trump. And the bit is every single time Trump hangs up on Dr. Evil. They're very funny. You got to look on the Dick Fauci page on YouTube to find those. But I do want to remind you guys, if you're enjoying the show and you haven't liked the video yet, like it while you're here, because I think the more likes we get, the better the chance that YouTube will actually shift the content out. I got a really weird thing on my page yesterday. Okay, I opened it up. I clicked on my thing, and as I scrolled down, I see a picture of my video, and it says, do you like this content? And I'm seeing like options. It says, do you like this content? And if you do, why do you like this content? Check this out. So I'm like, and the options are like, yes, I like, no, I don't like. And then it would say stuff like, enjoyable, controversial, whatever. It had like these options. And so I said, yes, I like it and it's enjoyable, because I'm hoping maybe they're taking it and they're going to say, okay, someone likes it, let's push it out. But I'm like, that's a weird thing that I'm seeing on my own page, my own video, and it says, do you like this content? Do you want to see more of this content, or something weird like that? And it was very odd.
Okay, I'm gonna share this with you guys. Okay, ready? Here we go. Paul said, "There's no way that 3 times can happen. 2 of those plies will be covered in my boom boom." But then he said, "Mark, do you think it's fair to say that you stay on longer when I come around, or is it just my imagination and my arrogance?" LOL. Oh, cool. Gangsta said, "I just saw one of your videos from like 10 years ago." It just randomly popped up. That's cool. Yeah, there's a couple funny ones. Like I did a couple of Owen Wilson, I did Christopher Walken, and I did Al Pacino with Harry Carey. Harry Carey was like a talk show host. I did these things about 10 years ago. A couple got a lot of hits. One of them got like 170,000 views. Pretty crazy. But I stopped doing it for 10 years. And I went and I commented on those videos just like a week or 2 ago. I was like, because a lot of people were like, "Hey, I love this, do more." I never saw those. For some reason, I didn't get any notifications. I stopped like logging in with that email. 7 to 10 years go by. I look back in and I got all these great comments. People are like, "Oh, this Christopher Walken's dead on. When's the next video coming out?" All this stuff. 7 years ago, 10 years ago. I'm like, shoot, none of these people know I exist anymore. But I went on there and I've replied to each one now, 10 years later, you know? And I was like, look, I'm live every day forever, guys. I've been live for 500 and whatever days now. And now I do what you asked me to come back and do once. You're like, when's the next one? Like every day there's a new face swap. Every day I do Trump. I do whatever happens in the moment. I'm like, please come back. Come back and check out the show now that there's a show. Totally. No, but let me go back to that. So Paul's right. So, dude, here's what I say. I keep looking at that number on the screen right now, and it says 7. And I keep saying in my mind that when it goes to 6, I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to say, you guys are awesome, and this has been a lot of fun, and let's get ready for another show tomorrow. If it goes to 8, or if it goes to 9, or if it goes to 10, and it keeps going, then we are here until it does not stay there. So, Paul, when you come on, brother, you bring the positivity, and you bring more viewers, because we're on at a lucky number 7. I like that number. I'd like to throw a 0 or 2 after it at some point in the future. Doesn't have to be tomorrow. Doesn't have to be next month or next year. I don't care. I'll be live anyway. I want to do something cool this year, if coronavirus allows. The second year of Real Talk, okay? Day 730 in a row is going to be officially the start of the 3rd year of Real Talk. It will be 2 full years of Real Talk. It's every year on New Year's Eve. I started the show on December 31st, 2018. So every year on December 30th, we have our New Year's Eve for Real Talk. We actually celebrate the New Year on New Year's Eve for Real Talk. And we have a New Year's Eve party on the 30th. So we can party on New Year's Eve on the 30th for Real Talk. The next day, when I go live, that is the official start of the 3rd year of Real Talk. And then we celebrate the new year that night. And it's amazing how all those things line up. And I didn't plan it that way. I just went live on December 31st. I was fed up with the way my year went. I had a great year in 17. 18 was good. And I'm like, how did I go from great to good? Market's still the same. It was never good. So I'm like, I hustle. Why did I have a better year in 17 than 18? Well, I did more video. That was what I came to. I was like sitting down laying out okay, let me lay out what I did, what I didn't do. I did a lot less video in 18 than I did in 17. So I'm like, I'm going to go and just remind people right now I'm a realtor. This is how Real Talk started, guys. Do you want to know how this show started? December 31st, 2018, I got on the air and I said, guys, tomorrow is the start of a new year. And when you go to buy real estate in 2019, because it's the end of 18 when I said this, I said, when you go to buy real estate, when you go to sell real estate, just remember that I'm a realtor. I've had a lot of friends I went to high school with, a lot of people I've grown up with, a lot of people I know that I hear, like, and again, Paul didn't know me at the time. His father also is in the business. But they'd say, oh, I just bought a house. I had someone who was referred to. I did some work for someone, and they wound up buying something behind my back. Like, it happens. It's the worst because you do the work and you want to get paid at the end of the work. Real estate agents don't get paid until they close on something. Everything else I do is free, you know? But I'm still kicking it here. My man Paul, somebody just liked the video again. Thank you. Like I said, if you haven't yet, Jack Napier. Look, Paul, I'm Jack Napier. We're going to be scared of the Batman. What's the name of the lieutenant in that movie? What's his name again? He shoots him. Remember, he shoots him in the back in the factory. I'll tell you what. If I wasn't live for 3 hours and 6 minutes, I would have remembered that by now. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. I'll remember it. We're going to be halfway through another thought. I'll be like, oh, it was LaForge. It was something like that. Look. Someone's going to say it over here. Paul's going to come up with it. I'm just knowing it. He's coming up with it. Top 10 villain original stories. Top 10. You know, it's funny. Today, I was sitting down. My wife's birthday was yesterday, so we're sitting down today, family, having cake, all that stuff. And my brother-in-law was telling us about this great new, like, series that he's watching. And he's like, you guys should check this out. And it's funny. My wife kind of elbowed me. She goes, are you paying? Are you listening? Like, and I said, yeah, no, of course I am. I was listening. I was listening to somebody, first of all, a brilliant person, but saying that, oh, you should check out this series. You should watch this show. And in my mind, I'm thinking, watch a show. I'll be putting on a show. I don't have time for TV anymore, guys. I'm over it. We are the TV. The negatube is dead, as far as I'm concerned. I told you guys this a few weeks ago. I don't know if you know this. I used to be so into television. Used to be so into movies. I have this like kind of cool golf simulator thing. I could pull out the turf and just swing on it. I don't hit balls, but I swing over the turf, and it's actually pretty accurate. The graphics are great, and I have a 120-inch screen that comes out of the ceiling and down, projector, HD, the Epson cool projector. You know the one, the HD projector? I've had it. I bought it when I moved into this house because I am a tech guy. I'm somebody who loves movies. If I'm going to watch a sporting event, it's on that thing. Do you know I haven't put the screen down in 2 years? I haven't put the screen down since I started the show. I haven't watched that television except for when my kids are watching a show. Up, guys, we just went to 6. All right, so we're officially calling it. We're officially slowing it down. Yeah, he's the fat guy. He's like, he looks up, he's like, it's like LaSalle or something like that. Someone Google that, search that like real quick. When you say it, I'm gonna have to say the name is Napier. I forget what it was, but that to me was the best Batman. Michael Keaton Batman, best Batman. Sorry, I don't care what anybody thinks. Best Batman. Yeah, and I like the dude who played it last, the one who's got this thing in his eye. That guy I like too, but I still think Keaton's the man. 7 again. Eckhart! Hey, Eckhart! Oh, Eckhart! That's awesome. You nailed it. Hey, Eckhart. Oh, you guys reboosted me back to 7. I was about to call it a night, and then 7 comes back. Loving you. I hope you guys know that we 7, 8, if I'm included in that 8 and 7, whatever it is, we're going to change things. We're going to change things. Just keep in mind it's going to take time. As long as you come with me, we're going to do it together. We're going to change the world. And it's funny to say that when it's just 7 of us. Maybe I'm the 8th, maybe I'm the 7th. I don't freaking know. But I feel it so deeply. It's like one of the only things in my life I'm confident about is that every day we need to do this. Like every day. Now tomorrow I got to... Hey, Eckhart, think about the future. That was it. Oh my goodness. Nailed it. Love it. Tomorrow, guys, I want to come on earlier so I can get a night back, sort of. So I'm going to see if I can get on around 5:30. You guys around? 5:30, 6 o'clock, something like that? Machine says I haven't slept in 4 days while you've been traveling, right? That'll do it to you. I haven't slept right in many years. Machine, appreciate you, buddy. Have a great night, okay? Machine's calling the night for all of us, I think, because I'm starting to fade as well. But when you go live for 3 hours plus on a daily basis, because we've been basically doing that, we're at 3:11 right now. You start to build up a stamina for it. Awesome, Denise. You just made my heart beat an extra beat right there. Gangsta, you rock, brother. Gangsta said he slept like a baby tonight. Denise said, I'm down for some change with you, Mark. I'll tell you what, it's all it takes is for you guys to believe that it's possible as well, because I know it is. I know it is. And I feel like if more people start to listen to what we're doing and they start connecting with us here, we're going to start to feel stronger. It's weird, but I really feel like we're all going to find strength in it. And, just imagine more people getting involved and adding to the positive fire that this show is bringing. Like the other night, Paul, you missed this. Denise, you were on, I think. Dagger, are you still here with us? Dag had said, basically, okay, here's the bottom line. A buddy of mine I've known since I was a kid came on, and yes, he had way too much to drink. Paul said, I'm a machine, but your name doesn't make us feel sorry for you because of your sleeplessness, because your name's I'm a machine. You're a machine, brother. We are still at 7. We're definitely at 7 for a little bit. We're back to 6 now, but I'm going to hang out with you for a little longer, okay? I just think that if we continue to try to rise above the negativity on this program, and again, a lot of times I'm riding that negativity, just trying to drive it out of my system. Paul says he's just a love machine. Remember that one?
Hey, man, why don't you give me a lid, man? That would be awesome.
Oh, yeah, man, I'll get you a lid. I got a guy around the corner. He can get us a lid real quick, man.
Hey, that sounds good, man.
You didn't know I could do that, did you? You know what? It's the way it should be, Paul. We had this one, and again, this is just a weird thing, but this kid I've known for a very long time, he's a super lefty. And his perspective is very, very volatile. Like, everything he said was angry. And he's here, he's messing with Dagger? It was nuts. Oh, dude, Up in Smoke was definitely hilarious, that movie.
Hey, man, you got a lid?
A lid? Oh, man, yeah, I got something. Let's go. My friend's got a party around the corner.
Hey, man, that sounds good, man. Hey, you want to be in my band? I got a drum kit you're gonna put in your back of your car, man. Hey, man. Hey, you got a light, man? I rolled this thing up before I got in your car, man. It's the size of my neck. Yeah, I call it the splifferifer.
Oh, hey, man, that sounds good, man. Look, give me that thing, man. Let's give it a shot.
Yeah, man, I told you, watch the road, man.
This is one of the most positive communities on the internet. Yeah, you're right, brother. We should be. Can I see your license? Ain't it on the back of the car?
Yeah, man, ain't it on the back of the car over there, man?
Hey, man, just tell him that you get lost, man. I'm smoking this doobie over here.
Hey, man, be quiet. Look at this guy's gonna take us away, man.
No, man, it's cool. You're Mexican. He'll just probably take you to the border. Just let him do it, man. He's asking for a light, though.
You know what? I think that's the thing I wanted to share, too. I think this is kind of a cool thing. I never thought about it this way, but someone recently said this. I don't even know. Maybe it was one of you guys who said this. They were like, it's pretty cool that this is a show like it is, and it's not like based in swear words. Like, you're reaching to find some funny stuff without saying the F-bomb and throwing, just, look, those are crutches. I think saying a swear word is very funny. Like, if you hear someone doing it, it's like dice. If you go over to and you may want to do this just for fun. Anybody who watches this back may be like, what? I may drop this as tomorrow's podcast, by the way. This has probably been one of the best shows in a while. I'm going to drop this as tomorrow's podcast, just so you know. So all of you will be on tomorrow's podcast. If you're driving in the car listening tomorrow, you're going to hear these words. And you're going to listen to me talking to Paul the whole time, and to Gangsta, and everybody else, and Denise. So that's the other cool thing, is when you're a part of the show, you become part of the podcast. You're part of history in a way, right? But the bottom line is to be able to stay positive and to reach for comedy, but do it. I said, this is what happened with Fache. If you go to find Fache on YouTube and you watch his first video, his first 2 videos, he is Dice. I'm throwing F-bombs left and right. My wife saw it. She goes, this is not, you can't do this. You can't do this. She's like, you'll get, what? You can't do this. So I erased most of it. It may not even be there anymore. I don't know. But it was so funny. And I was like, hey, what are you gonna cut me? And I was just doing Dice, but as Dick Fache, and I had the mask on, or the mustache on and everything. And so I changed him. I tamed him down a touch, where what the taming down was very simple. He's got the same energy. He's the same jike, but he doesn't say the F-bomb. Instead, he says friggin'. What are you friggin' kidding me? I had a hard time figuring out how to take the edge of the F-bomb, which is so funny. If you've ever heard Andrew Dice Clay say the F-bomb, I say it exactly the same. I just mimic the sound of his voice. He says, what are you friggin' kidding me? I'll go a day. Well, come over here now, okay? And so, like, I'm doing that, but saying friggin', right? So I took the bite out a touch. But this, whoever it was like, I just gotta say, good on you for not swearing and just still being funny without swearing. And I think my concept from the beginning was, because I'm a real estate agent, I want everybody to know they can work with me. I don't want anybody to be like, ooh, he's too crass for me. Although now I'm doing Trump's impression, so they're probably saying that already. Like, oh, I don't like him now because he does Trump. Well, you're the one who's the problem. You shouldn't have a problem with anybody because of anything they believe, think, or their opinions. You know, we're human beings. We should have a consensus that everybody's loved for the fact that they're unique. No, this entire existence of ours is everyone's racist. Everybody's a racist. If you question anything, you're a racist. Wait a second. Let me get this straight. You ask any questions, you're a racist? Yeah, especially if you ask any questions about the former president. Oh, it was a black president. And if you ask any questions, or if you say it wasn't a good president, you're a racist. No, I'm looking at the data. Is the data racist? Maybe the data's racist too. Look, when you are in a world where no matter what comes out of your mouth, the next sentence out of the next person's mouth is, well, you're just racist. The word ignorance comes to my mind, but still. It's more like juvenile, like childlike. Yes. Oh my goodness. Paul said, first of all, he said, and he said, you are racist if you ask questions about BLM, even though BLM is racist. Gangsta said, if you don't agree with the left, you're racist. And there's no discourse. Yeah, nobody wants to have a conversation. And this is what I keep hearing from a few of these people. This is what I want to explain, and you guys tell me what you think here. That black people are oppressed, okay? That they don't have the same opportunities that white people have. That white people are privileged, and that black people have to fear about getting pulled over and getting shot. That's what all of this is. Fear about getting pulled over and get shot. And that they're oppressed. And then I'm thinking about this. I'm like, if you go into any inner cities, okay, no matter where they are, yeah, there's a lot of black people there. There's a lot of Chinese people. There's a lot of Spanish people. There's a lot of white people. Inner cities, poor people. It just exists, okay? Sorry. And it's a terrible thing that people have to live that way, and that no one's there helping them. But they live that way. And then you move out to the next realm, where you have like the right outside of that, where there's people who own these homes, like 80, 220K. And they're working these landscaping jobs, and whatever the job is, they're manually earning their living in order to support their families and to pay for that home. And as you go up, things change. The more money people make, just things shift, right? And I think that for me especially, what I find is this. The 1960s came and we had a monstrous civil rights movement that changed the shape of the United States. Not the physical shape, but the shape of our mental perspective. I don't know, the shape of our future, okay? We shaped a new future, essentially, where everybody has an opportunity to become something. And the opportunity's there. So don't say that less opportunities exist. In fact, it's quite the opposite. There are more opportunities today for black, Mexican, anybody that is not a white person than there were 30, 40, 20, 10 years ago even, okay? The idea of being diverse now is the number one concern of a company, where it used to be just something on the list. Now, if you are a white person, you're up against a woman, a, say, Colombian man, and against a black man. That white person never gets the job. There are 3 minorities up for it, and one of those 3 will get the job. It's just the way it is. So for someone to say that there's no opportunities, that's a falsehood. There were no opportunities in the 60s and 50s before this civil rights movement, when Martin Luther King and others changed the course of events that we are living today. Okay? Here's the other thing. This is a movement that started, and for 40 years we pushed to 2000. Okay, we're right there at the moving into a new century. I thought we got to a point where we were brave enough as a country to not only welcome each other as one, but then to vote in a black president, not once, but twice. Over 8 years, we voted in Barack Obama twice. But now we're racist again? Now the opportunities aren't there? President of the United States of America, that is the ultimate opportunity. Job accomplished. Opportunities are there. The racism exists in part of the country, but 100% fact, just because of someone's skin color, it doesn't make them racist. In fact, if you think that, then you're the racist. Because what you should realize is it's your actions. It's your spirit. Is it a good energy? You know, we're talking about here on this program how everything here is positive. Everybody comes here in order to feel something great. I don't want anybody walking away feeling worse than they did when they showed up. I want them feeling amped. It's saying, I can't wait to come back next time. Hopefully it's tomorrow. But you know I'm here whether you could come or not. But I can't wait to come back next time I can. You know, and that's what I'm hoping for, is we live in the moment, we build each other up. We don't take each other down. Life is so much better when we're doing things together. Life is amazing when we're doing things together. When you start dividing the world by saying things like Black Lives Matter, instead of saying, look, isn't it about time that we say that every single life matters? And you guys have to stop treating black people less than? Stop treating whatever less than? We're all equal. We are the human race. And if we started saying that, I think this world would actually feel pretty positive right now. Think about that for a second. Imagine if the movement after George Floyd was murdered, when this entire country was shocked and really upset, I would say. All of us were. I was upset when I saw that footage, okay? We're all upset. Nobody thought it was a good thing. Imagine if the response as a country was, all lives matter. We need to stop the police brutality. All lives matter. If that was the response, I would be out here right now, screaming it to each and every one of you. Guys, all lives matter. All lives matter. But the facts are, 9 people in the black community were shot by white police officers last year. I think it was last year. And something like a lot more white people were shot by white police officers, or black police officers shot white police, or whatever it was, a lot more than the other way around. And when I hear Don Lemon say it's not about the 50 people a day, in Chicago being gunned down, black on black. That's not what the Black Lives Movement is about. All right? It's about those 9. That's the hypocrisy that pisses me the heck off. Okay, I'm going to read a few things from Paul here real quick before we call this a night. Let's see. Right now we are on for 3 hours and 26 minutes. Woof. Okay. Gangsta said, I feel like it's more of a culture case than race case. With the gang violence, kids growing up without their dad and more. Dead on that one. Totally Gangsta. Paul said this country has not been racist on its face forever. This country has not been racist on its face ever. When the Declaration of Independence was drafted, Thomas Jefferson wrote in the abolishment of slavery. The colony of South Carolina would not sign the Declaration unless they were allowed to keep their slaves. Oh, wow. Thomas Jefferson struck the abolition of slavery from the Declaration so that we could gain our freedom from the British. He then went on to say that the keeping of the slaves in American society in the event of success and liberation, that it would be a huge mistake and would come back to bite us in the butt in the future. Wow, Paul, this is our history master over here. That's killer. So, Jefferson, who owned slaves, had children with slaves. He had children with a slave, right? That makes sense. Then he wanted to abolish slavery. He wanted his slave to become his wife and become his part of his life, and he had to hide her. And basically, that was just terrible. Again, that's just terrible. When liberty's about allowing your soul to breathe. That was the other thing. It's like, nope, you can't do that though because it's not what we like. But that's a brilliant story right there. I'm glad you shared that, brother. Let's see. He went on to say that the keeping of slaves in American society is the events of... Oh, wait, did you say that? Yeah. And it has. You're so right. And to think about, too, that there were a lot of black people who were selling and keeping slaves as well. Free black men. And still to this day, there's slavery. Nobody's talking about that. Slavery was around long before the Americas. Yeah, they were brought here for 1 year. That's it. They still kept slaves here, but they were only brought here from Africa for 1 year. So everybody says, oh, well, I want my reparations because you took my... They had 1 year of slave ships come here. I don't know how many. I'm not sure how many slaves came from Europe or from Africa, but they came. The other thing about the reparations, just to explain this, you're not responsible for somebody else's actions. And you didn't deal with anything. And it's probably not even your ancestors. You don't know. But that's this whole thing. They want for free. We got another 7, guys. Now we're back up. We're going to have to stay on for another 74 hours. The Egyptians enslaved whites. That's true. And then you also had... who did you say this to the other day, Paul? I think it was. You said, too, about the Greeks. You nailed it the other day, I think it was. The Jews enslaved by the black Egyptians. Yep. Nobody talks about any of this stuff. They talk about the most recent memory, which is them being enslaved. But here's the thing. We made strides, guys, from the 1960s through 2016. We had a president that's black for 2 terms. We voted him in. You can't all of a sudden go backwards and say, we're a racist nation. Everybody's racist. Well, then why did Barack Obama become president when there's still a predominant amount of white people in this country? How did Barack Obama win? Maybe because people aren't racist? Maybe some people are, but there's also some people that are just stupid. Paul says slavery is not okay, and the thing that, like you were about to say, is that since the middle of the 19th century, 100,000 or more white people died to free all slaves. Yeah. Well, here's another crazy one. Yeah. My brother-in-law said a crazy stat today. He said that 650,000 people died. Children, kids, parents and boys, and some girls, but I think. But 650,000 people died for 4 million slaves. Or for 4 million black people, essentially, right? Because they're mostly all black slaves, yeah. So 650,000 American lives were sacrificed to fight for 4 million slaves. The North fought for the freedom of 4 million slave lives and lost over 500,000 lives for that fight on both sides, over 650,000 lives, okay? And he was like, nobody ever talked about that. Like, the sacrifices made on all sides, always. It's always made on people's sides. Like, and nobody did things right back. That's why the idea of erasing history is never a good idea, because you have to remember how things went wrong and to make sure you never do it again. You know what I'm saying? There weren't? How many slaves were there? Can you find out what that number is, Paul? I thought he said it was 650,000 lives in the war, in the Civil War, that were lost between North and South. And I thought he said 4 million. Yeah, I remember that. The Civil War, the blacks fought on the side of the North. But how many slaves were there at that time? Do we know? I wonder if that's something I can Google. Actually, you know what? I'll figure it out for tomorrow. Guys, it's freaking 3 hours and 33 minutes into this show. Is it 4? Because that's what he said. He said 4 million, and he's usually pretty much on. There were over 3 million slaves in the South. Okay, so there are 4 million slaves, we'll call it. He thought it was 4. He may have been rounding up. He said 650,000 died, 4 million slaves, and they were sacrificed to fight to stop slavery. They both died for 4 million slaves, for roughly. Okay, so about 4 million. Okay, so Paul says it was 4 million. No worries. I'm glad. Like, I do want to always be fact checked, especially because sometimes I'm just speaking off of something I heard or something that I have from a memory from 5 years ago. So if someone can Google search whenever I say some random stuff with facts, I'd prefer that. I think I had said something early on in the show too, where I was like, geez, I'm in the middle of the moment. I'm like, I'm not sure if that's the exact right number there. I'm like, well, somebody will call it out if it isn't. So I'm glad you did that, brother. Gangsta says we forgive you, Paul. Paul, you're awesome. Gangsta, you're awesome. Anybody else that's on right now, I just want to say I really appreciate the fact that you hung out with me this evening for 3 hours and 33 minutes and 40 seconds. That's crazy. I'm looking at it right now, 333344. I love numbers. Like, sometimes that happens. Like 3 hours and 33 minutes and 33 seconds. And then there are 44, you know what I mean? And then 55. It's just lovely when they all line up. Anyway, so tomorrow we will be getting down as per usual. If you have any songs you want me to play, send them over. You have any requests for face swaps, you could do that too. Sig, I don't think Sig was able to tune in tonight, but Sig, if you catch the replay on this, thank you, buddy. Sig went into Patreon. First of all, Sig was already following me and supporting the show on Patreon. I'm gonna type this in just so you guys know about this. He's supporting the program in Patreon. And I get an email yesterday that he bumped up his monthly support. I was like, holy cow. What a cool dude. My man, Sig David, what a good guy. I love him. And guys, I got to tell you, it's probably one of the coolest things in the world to get a pat in the back, something like that. Someone's like, keep it up, buddy. That's basically what David does. When he's like, keep going, bud. Here you go. I'm supporting it. Keep going. Keep showing up. And it was because we did a 5-hour show with Mary Ann. I think he's like, dude, how do you do this every day? You're doing 3 to 5 hours, and you have a real estate business, and you have 3 kids, and you're running it. Like, what? How do you do that? I'm like, I don't know. That's what I'm meant to do. I'm going to just drive through the day and get to this moment that we're here together. You know? Oh, thank you, Denise. Listen, seriously, guys, I've got nothing but like an open heart of love for each and every one of you. And I want you to know that if you're ever like, because we all go through ups and downs, like if you're ever not feeling like great and you just need to like chat, or you need to like, you could shoot me a note. Go on Discord if you want. You can email me. It's mark@markpyersrealtalk.com. You can email me. And even on my website, there is an option that you can go, oh my goodness, 322,000 Union deaths. Now, how many South deaths? Because he was saying in total, like this many lives fought over 4 million slave lives. Like that, like people died over these lives. You know what I mean? It's not like nobody made a sacrifice. Children and adults that necessarily didn't believe the same things, but they're fighting because that's what they were told to do. You know, it's about the pride, you know, all this stuff. Yeah, guys, you guys are all so awesome. Oh, you're the best, Denise. Yeah, you could go to that link, and there's a bunch of different packages there. And what I do, too, is actually, I did this for Sig last week when he first signed up as a patron. I make a face swap as, like, Trump to thank you when people do get onto the Patreon. And it's such a cool thing because when you are an artist, especially somebody who's coming out here daily, I guess the big goal here for me eventually is that this becomes my gig and that I'm doing 8 hours a day, you know what I mean, or whatever, you know what I mean. Like it's a thing where we actually have a sound guy, and the face swaps are not face swaps, but they're deep fakes, and they're like it's me doing like they're filming me, and then they got the guy in the back end taking all the thing and putting Trump's head on my face and turning me into Trump, a real deep fake. Like that's where that's what I can't not wait for that, you know. No, dude, come on, brother. Paul, don't be so hard on yourself. This is why this is such a cool open conversation. Like, nobody ever gets it, like, dead on, you know? But I would say the cool things about tonight were the stories. We got into a couple of really cool stories that just remind me of what I'm doing during the day to make a living still. And it inspires me as well to just even know... Like, I sometimes would think about if I didn't take those listings, like, where would I have been? I would have been focused on a whole different set of business that year. I probably had a great year, but I focused on, like that's the home run. Oh, $20 million, 15, those are home run deals, and they never really happen. And if they do, sometimes they fall apart because of an attorney, you know? So it's like, it's a weird thing. You have to figure out as a realtor or whatever business you're in, you have to be a diverse individual. You got to work in all areas. That's why I'll take a rental. I'll work a $200,000 deal. I'll work at I'll work $1 million. I'll work $10 million. I'll work whatever you got for me. To me, I just want to be busy. I just want someone to use my services. And it just kills me when I see someone who's like, oh, yeah, I'm working with, or, oh, I just bought a house. I'm like, oh, why didn't you think of me? And they're like, oh, I forgot you're a realtor. This is why I consistently remind people that, look, don't forget. Yeah, I'm on the air every day. I'm trying to make people feel better, but I'm a real estate agent. I make people feel better when I'm selling houses, and we go out and we have a good time. I would just get totally into character for people too. They're like, look, Mark, I really like Christopher Walken. I would like it when you show me homes, if you'd show me homes as Christopher Walken. I'd be like, you got it. Let's go. You know? Let's see. Paul, I love it. He goes, no, this is something I need to hold dear. The left says a bunch of BS. We have to have our facts straight at all times. If we don't, then they can take us to the cleaners with the ideas of racism. It's so true. Being truthful and knowing the facts are not easy things to hold up. Lying snakes can say whatever they want, since the fake news always holds them up to their falsehood. We cannot be invigilant. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. You know what? I think that's a very good point. Everybody just makes statements. I told you the other day, too, they'll just push publish. Oh, I just have this article, I'm going to push publish. They don't even think about what they're publishing. And even if it's based in fact, it's just like sensationalism. But if it gets people talking, if it gets me likes, and if it gets me pushed up on Twitter or whatever the heck they're trying to do, that's all they care about. And it's not good journalism. I call it the National Enquirer 2020. It's straight up the National Enquirer. And that's why, in a way, like one of my brother-in-laws today was like, why don't you just go on like 67 and go to 68 and go to 68, and you could see the three different perspectives on any story. I'm like, yeah, but you shouldn't have to do that. You shouldn't have to go watch Fox's perspective, to go watch CNN's perspective, then go watch MSNBC's perspective. No, I want to have the Real Talk News, okay? The Real Talk News channel. And all it is, all day long, is positivity. Every single day. Maybe it's not just me. Maybe it's everybody. We'll get like crazy people on, like, that are just trying to bring the light. Okay? All day, every day. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I know that about Levin. Mark Levin, he gets 6 million listeners a week. That's amazing. We have 6 people on with us right now, Paul. How about that? Can we add a couple of zeros? 6 million listeners a week? That's insane. But that's the key. The truth will always speak louder than any crap that you can make up. And that'll always come back to haunt you. That's exactly the point. It's Joe Biden right now. Everything he said is coming back to haunt him. Yeah, that's true. Paul said that we're not always getting the right information. And sometimes we're getting information from the wrong sources where he's getting everything. He probably has researchers, so he's getting his information from the researchers, and we're getting our information from Twitter and from everything else. So, Levin is a very interesting cat. I'll tell you this. This is the funniest thing, Paul. You'll know this too to be true. I said that in general, we come across a lot of people that think they're smarter than we are. Not that we're smarter than they are either, but they think they're smarter than you are. And they'll think this exact phrase. They'll say, "Oh, I'm going to just throw this one by Paul. He won't know. I'm so smart. I'm just going to throw this one by Paul, and he won't know." Paul freaking knows. Paul can see it in your body language. You can feel it. And guess what Paul's going to do? Paul's going to put you in that list of untrustworthy. No. Distrust. Nope. Friend? Nope. X off the planet? Yep. Done. But everyone thinks they're so smart. I'll just get it by Mark. He won't know. I know. It reminds me of that old Jerry Seinfeld commercial. That bit he made up about just for men. Just for men. No one can tell. Everyone can tell. So true. Oh, I love that. Paul said, not one hive-minded libtard will ever get a fact by me. That I love, because we need to stop the fake news. But it's so thick. This is the thing I realized today. We are now, I've been realizing this for a little while. I'm about to totally lose it, I'll tell you. I just hit 34343. That's so awesome. We are split into a country of Trump or not Trump right now. It's not about the issues anymore. No one's talking about abortion. No one's talking about anything. They're just Trump or not Trump. That's it. Very simple. Trump or not Trump. And the division is so far left and right. There's no center point anymore, not even close. It's hate or not hate. Yeah, and there's so much hatred for the country, for the Constitution, they call these people walking around calling these dead white men. There's no respect for the founders of this country and what they built. And nobody's recognizing the fact that every single civilization in the history of time has fallen. The United States will, and it looks like it's coming a lot quicker than we want. It's a lot quicker than I want. So we have a lot of questions to ask. But the problem is when you ask questions, you're called a racist. So what does that tell you? It tells us that they are basically winning the war. They're winning the war. I saw today a lady pour black paint on the Black Lives Matter, the mural in New York City, which a mural is a wall thing. I don't know why they keep calling it a mural, but a footle. She's pouring black paint on it, and she's saying, "You guys don't care about black lives." She's like, "Refund the police," she keeps screaming. "Refund the police. You guys don't care about black lives. People are dying in the street. Refund the police." She's like, "Look at you guys." Nobody, and she's screaming. The cops take her away. So, "Ma'am, you can't do that. Take it away." So you let people break into buildings, create havoc, hurt people all over the city, but a lady throws paint on the Black Lives Matter mural. A black lady, by the way. She's a black lady pouring paint on a Black Lives Matter mural, and they're pulling her off and they're arresting her or whatever it was. Just don't understand. Arrest the looters, the rioters. Yeah, that's the other thing. Paul's kind of nailing on something right now. So all of those professors from the 60s, that like the hippies that went to Woodstock and wanted to make changes and change the world and go socialism back then and go communist back then, they're the professors right now at these colleges. And like Paul said, the indoctrination professors are spouting Marxism to them without actually hearkening Marx. And the idea here is that they're inspiring these children to act out and telling them that this is how you make change. And it's a problem. It really is. Look, 3 hours and 47 minutes in, guys. I'm going to start wrapping it up here. Tomorrow, whole new day. Don't forget. Subscribe and ding the bell if you haven't yet. Like the video. Tomorrow, I'll be back, I think, at 5:30. I'll try to come on around 5:30, 6 o'clock. Do 2-3 hours with you. And then help my wife put the kids to sleep. I will see you tomorrow. Send your requests. Donald Trump Show, Episode 2, starting tomorrow afternoon. It's Mark Pyers. And it's Real Talk. Have a great night, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you again.